What's up guys, this is your favorite fanfic YouTuber, the Fanfic Majesty, and welcome to another amazing video. You can follow me on Patreon for exclusive stories. 2BS Chapter 31, I'll walk a few laps with you advertisement. Seeing the sudden appearance of Qin Yu, Dashawan, Thousand Hand Sujian, including Sarutobi Rizhan were all stunned. How will you be here? Sarutobi Rizhan became anxious, it was too dangerous here. Now he finally has the compassion and care of being Hokage. The discrimination against different races has been lost. Who are you? Qian Shojian was very curious about Qin Yu, who suddenly appeared to rescue Sarutobi Rizhan. Meet Orochimaru again. Qin Yu skipped Qian Shojian and Sarutobi Rizhan, and greeted the faraway Dashawan. See you again, what does this mean? Have they met before, and can they still know each other? Qianshu looked at Qin Yu suspiciously, suspecting that he and Dashawan were in the same group. Don't worry, I don't dare to rescue you without two brushes. Qin Yu smiled and looked at the original Hokage Chizuma and the second Hokage Chizuma. Next, let me walk a few laps with you. Qin Yu put Sarutobi Rizhan aside, and faced Qianshu Zujian and Qinsao Shujian by himself. Interesting, so funny. Orochimaru watched the battle that was about to begin with interest. Qin Yu, you go quickly, the strength of the two adults is not something you can fight against. Sarutobi Rizhan wanted to get up to stop Qin Yu, but was pulled by the beast-shaped monster. Sunslash, this kid is not easy. With a sound of, yeah, General Sarutobi's son looked at Qin Yu suspiciously. Seeing how confident he is now, I don't think he seems to be joking. Boy, who are you? Qianshojian frowned. He didn't know whether this person who appeared suddenly was an enemy or a friend. I think he is my own. Senjujuma smiled and patted Senjuma's shoulder. Two adults, he is from Konoha. Knowing that the two Hokage had doubts, Sarutobi Rizhan proved his identity for Qin Yu. In that case, I can rest assured. Qianshojian's frowning brow stretched out. Boy, you have to be careful. Senshu Zujian clenched his fists, ready to do it. Orochimaru, can't be used here, why don't we change the place? Qin Yu didn't do anything. Instead, he discussed with Dashawan, who was far away to watch the show. Oh, it's funny, what a funny kid. Dashiwan hooked his mouth and said with a smile. As long as you have a way, I don't care. Then everyone, please look forward to it. The imprints of Qin Yu's hands fluttered, forming a series of dazzling handprints. Flying Thunder God Space Jump. The spatial fluctuation suddenly appeared, and everyone present disappeared out of thin air. Endian Valley. The people who disappeared from the top of the Hokage Tower appeared out of thin air. This is a large-scale space-time ninjutsu. Qianshojian looked at the completely different scenes around him in shock. Even Senjujuzuma was very surprised, but the most surprising one is the two of Naruto Sarutobi and Orochimaru. The two of them didn't expect Qin Yu to have this ability. Okay, we can also start. Qin Yu looked around and felt quite satisfied. In that case, we are not welcome. Leaving Konoha, the pillars were obviously not so worried. In the village just now, even though they were controlled by Dashiwan, the two of them still separated their minds and resisted. This did not release large-scale ninjutsu, causing damage to Konoha. But it's different now, it's not Konoha here. There is no need to resist at all, you can let it go. Read more at hotmtlnovel.zi, Eternal Kaleidoscope. Advertisement, Susanna can be. Qin Yu made a big move in an instant, and it was still a super big move. A huge human-shaped skeleton torso wrapped Qin Yu. The torso gradually rose, and the limbs and head of the skeleton began to evolve. When the evolution of the skeleton is completed, a giant Susanoo with a height of 100 meters is completed. It turns out that there is such a whole card, no wonder it is so confident. Qianshuju sighed with emotion for Qin Yu's Shuzuo Nengu. Brother fool, don't hurry up and wait to be abused. Seeing Qin Yu's Shuzuo Nengu, Qianshojian felt that he was going to be cold. The difference in body shape is so big, and I have to play with a hammer. This is Qin Yu's strength. Sarutobi Rizhan had already been stunned. He didn't expect Qin Yu's strength to be such a coincidence. Looking at this posture, it is estimated that the two Naruto and Naruto have no problem at all. As for Dashawan, it was also a little shaken in my heart. It turned out that this kid had reservations before, but it has only been revealed now. With a pop, there was a horse step between the Qianshuju, palms folded together. Mu done really thousands of hands, on top of the Buddha. Rumble. The ground began to vibrate violently, and countless pieces of wood broke through the ground. The wood entangled with each other and turned into a thousand-handed Buddha nearly 80 meters high. With a click, Qianshu Juma stood on the head of the Buddha. Bring it on. Rumble. The wooden bergamot lifted one after another, and slammed their palms towards the Suzuo Nengu in front of them. Suzuo Nohu clenched his bone palm into a fist, and fought back toward the sky full of wooden palms. There were successive sonic booms, and waves of air swept all around. So strong, thousands of hands couldn't intervene, so he could only hide and watch the battle between the two. With the exception of Uchiha Madara, it was the first time I saw someone else could do this kind of fighting style. Suzuo strengthened. Seeing that Suzuo Nenhu's bones began to crack, Qin Yu increased his pupil power. On the bones, flesh and blood began to grow. In the blink of an eye, the original skeleton became a flesh and blood giant. The power of the giant is twice as powerful as before. Damn, this guy is hiding it. Qianshu looked at Qin Yu and shook his head. Pure close combat, although Qin Yu's Shuzuo can almost become a giant. But it was also scarred by the blast of the great Buddha between the thousand hands pillars. The giant Buddha between the thousand hand pillars was also torn apart by Qin Yu's giant Shuzuo. Both looked very embarrassed. Haha. Qianshu Juma laughed loudly and said, your strength is good, but my strength is limited. I can only play 4/10 of my peak strength. Otherwise, your Suzuo would have been blown by me. Senshu Juma is very confident in his own strength. However, he is now a puppet body that has been resurrected and reincarnated, and the strength of the summoned person is not good, and the strength that can be used is effective. I felt regretful for a while. The first generation of Hokage, do you think that as long as you return to the peak period, you will be able to secure the victory? Qin Yu smiled and looked at the Qianshu Zujian and slowly dissipated. With a click, he gently stood on the ground, although I don't want to say that, but I can only say, yes. Senjuzuma is very determined. After all, the ninja god is not for nothing. Since you are so confident, then I should show some real skills. Qin Yu looked up and smiled at Qianshu Zujian. Chapter 32. Really thousands of hands, on top of the Buddha. Advertisement, then you are optimistic. Qin Yu arched his legs left and right, and his figure was straight. Seeing Qin Yu's posture so familiar, the pupils between Qianshu Zujian and Qianshojian suddenly shrank. Why is this so familiar? It's clearly Mu done really thousands of hands, on top of the Buddha. With a pop, Qin Yu folded his palms together, rumbling. The ground began to vibrate again, not only with greater amplitude, but also with a greater area of vibration. This kid. Dashiwan's vertical pupils suddenly tightened, and he was obviously shocked by Qin Yu. It was the first time that Dashimaru saw such a god-defying imp. Even Uchiha Shisui, who was once called a genius, was not as good as Qin Yu. Wouldn't escape. Sarutobi Rijon was already shocked and speechless, just staring at Qin Yu in a daze. It's really Big Brother's Mudden Ninjutsu, thousands of hands, top the Buddha. Believe it or not, the facts are here. Qianshojian could only look at Qin Yu in shock, watching his Mu Dan Ninjutsu slowly take shape. Unexpectedly, you would escape. The pillars did not move, but looked at Qin Yu quietly. He wanted to know what kind of strength Qin Yu's Mu Dun could achieve. The wood entangles and shuttles, forming a wooden Buddha in an instant. The Buddha is nearly 100 meters high, and there are thousands of wooden palms behind him. Qin Yu stood on the head of the giant wooden Buddha, looking down at all sentient beings. Looking at the 200-meter-high wooden Buddha, Qianshu Zujian couldn't help being shocked. I didn't expect your strength to be so strong. It seems that you are in Konoha, I can rest assured. While talking, Senshu Juma laughed in relief. Qin Yu looked helpless, and said, we still can't fight. Anyway, Konoha, the first generation of Hokage, hurry up and find a place with me. Qianshu Zujian's face twitched slightly, extremely embarrassed. Hey, I really can't fight. Then come on. The wooden giant Buddha between the columns rushed towards Qin Yu, and Qin Yu's wooden giant Buddha also rushed towards the columns. Rumbling. The palms of the big and small Buddhas began to blast each other, and the waves of air billowed and the sonic boom continued. Wooden palms of different sizes blasted against each other, and countless sawdust began to fly. Most of these sawdust come from the wooden Buddha between the pillars. Obviously, in the collision of moves, the Mu Dun between the pillars could not beat Qin Yu's Mu Dun. This is not only because of the disparity in body shape, but also the actual disparity. Boom. With a roar, the wooden giant Buddha between the thousand hand pillars was blasted to pieces. The Qianshu Zujian was also blasted into debris by Qin Yu's palm of the wooden Buddha. Big brother, Qianshojian frowned, slightly nervous. Unexpectedly, Konoha will have such a variable as you. It seems that this plan has failed. Dashi Wan looked at Qin Yu with fear in his eyes. I'm all right. The Senshu Juma, which had been blasted to pieces, came back to life again as the pieces slowly gathered. Qin Yu, right, good boy, you are strong enough to hold Konoha up. Senjuzuzuma didn't feel differently because of the failure just now, but renewed his joy. Happy that Konoha has such a powerful ninja in charge. Come on, I am inspired to become a salted fish. Qin Yu drew his ears. Salted fish? Sarutobi Rijon glanced at the monkey demon beside him. Salted fish? What does this mean? Senjuzujian couldn't figure out the meaning of salted fish, so he asked. Salted fish, I just don't have a dream. I don't want to do anything. I just want to eat and wait to die. Read more at hotmtlnovel.zi. Qin Yu also explained it in a modest manner. Advertisement. After listening to Qianshu, haha burst into laughter. Qianshu Kenma and Sarutobi Hizen are full of black lines. Who are these people? Unexpectedly, you and I have the same idea. I used to want to be a salted fish, but I didn't take it. Senshu Juma was a little bit emotional, thinking of the time before. Qin Yu, the matter is not over yet, don't be too happy too soon. Orochimaru sneered coldly. Although the plan failed, he didn't have all his cards. Oh, are there any means you haven't used? Qin Yu was puzzled. Normally, Dashawan's trump card should be the two Hokage who reincarnated from this dirty soil. Apart from that, there should be nothing else. But now that Dashimaru is so confident, does he have other cards? Psychic Art. Dashimaru channeled again, but this time gave the last coffin out of it. Reincarnated from the dirty soil, with a bang, the lid of the coffin was opened, and a figure came out of the coffin. 4 generations of Fengying. Sarutobi Hizen looked at the familiar face, his eyes filled with shock. For the second generation of Hokage, you may have researched the reincarnation of the dirty soil, but I developed the next technique by myself. Please, everyone, have a good experience. Reincarnation of the dirty earth sacrifice flurry of demons. With a bang, Dashiwan suddenly exploded into blood. The end of the blood flew towards the Qianshu Juma, Qianshoshoma, and the 4th generation Fengying Luosha. This is, Qianshu looked at the end of the blood and suddenly had a bad feeling. What? Luo Sha let out a roar. It turned out that the blood had been absorbed into the body. As the blood melted in, Luo Sha began to run wild. Magnetic escape Jinsha waves. Luo Sha waved his hands repeatedly, and countless golden sands flew out of him and turned into rough waves of sand, rushing towards Qin Yu's wooden Buddha. Water escaped stormy waves. The billowing waves charged, and under the control of Qianshojian, rushed towards Qin Yu's Mu Dun. Mu Dun wooden dragon bound. Dozens of wooden dragons drilled out of Qin Yu's wooden Buddha, and the giant Buddha was locked in circles. Qin Yu looked at the 3 people who suddenly ran away, and seriousness began to appear in his eyes. Chakra spewed inside the body, and the wooden Buddha began to struggle to break free from the shackles of the wooden dragon. Boom! The wooden Buddha broke free from the shackles of the wooden dragon, and 1,000 Buddha palms swung out and moved towards the rushing waves and sand waves. Rumbling. The waves and sand waves were pierced by the Buddha's palm and scattered on the ground. Boom! The wooden Buddha between the 1,000 hand pillars reappeared with loud noises one after another. While Qin Yu was hitting the waves and sand waves just now, he was behind Qin Yu's hands. The sawdust of the wooden Buddha flew up and his body began to shake. Orochimaru ran away, and now these 3 people are going crazy. How can this game suddenly become messy? Qin Yu frowned. Apparently a pit now. I knew I wouldn't install X, but now it's better. By the way, I still have the pupil skill ability. Qin Yu's frowning brows stretched out. Obviously he had thought of some way to solve the current problem. Flying Thunder God. Standing on top of the swaying wooden Buddha's head, he flicked Thunder God Kunai towards the Senshu Zujian behind him. With a swish, Qin Yu disappeared. When he appeared again, he had already followed Fei Lei Shen's Kuwu to come to Zujian's side. Chapter 3-3. Space Imprisonment Advertisement, Spiral Pill. A high-speed spinning ball appeared from Qin Yu's hand and slapped it fiercely towards the chest between the pillars. With a loud bang, Helix Maru pierced the body between the pillars. Space imprisoned. The eternal kaleidoscope was displayed in an instant, and a black spatial vortex appeared behind the remnant body between the pillars. As soon as the black whirlpool appeared, a huge attraction exploded. Sensho Zuma gradually fell into the whirlpool under the attraction of the black whirlpool. In the end, the whole person was completely absorbed by the black whirlpool. Rumbling. Without the support of the chakra between the 1,000 hand pillars, the wooden Buddha stopped moving. After that, it began to slowly shatter and fell to the ground. Magnetic escape sans shuriken. Luo Sha controlled Jinsha, turned into a shuriken flying all over the sky, and threw it towards Qin Yu. Suzuo Nohu appeared, blocking the attack of the shuriken. Ding ding dong dong, sounded one after another, and the shuriken fell to the ground. Flying Thunder God. Qin Yu once again used the Flying Thunder God Kuwu, through the Flying Thunder God Kuwu, escaped the sky full of shurikens, and came to Luosha's side. Space imprisoned. The black vortex appeared again, but this time it appeared behind Luo Sha. Magnetic escape gold placer defense. As if feeling the gravitational pull of the black vortex, Luo Sha began to defend. The golden sands gathered, forming a huge defensive shield behind Luosha. Lei Dun Dance of the Crazy Dragon. The second generation of Hokage also rushed over at this time. The huge thunder dragon soared into the air and rushed towards Qin Yu with a roar. Qin Yu looked at the fast-approaching thunder dragon, and did not run away. Instead, he squeezed Fei Lei Shen and waited for the thunder dragon to approach. When Thunder Dragon was completely close to Qin Yu, he fled with the skill of Flying Thunder God. But Thunder Dragon still rushed straight ahead. With a loud bang, Thunder Dragon directly ran into Luo Sha. Luo Sha's gold dust defense instantly shattered. Spiral Pill. Qin Yu appeared behind Luo Sha again. A spiral pill also shattered his body. Space imprisoned. The black vortex reappeared, sucking in the crushed Luosha. This second generation is a bit tricky. Space ninjutsu should have a great effect on him. No matter what, let's talk about it. Qin Yu shook his head and ignored the others. Now only the second generation of Hokage is left. No matter how difficult it is for him, it is more than a little simpler. Mu Dun really thousands of hands, on top of the Buddha. The wooden Buddha reappeared, and thousands of wooden palms slapped crazily towards the Qianshojian. Rumbling. The ground became shattered under the impact of the wooden palm. However, it has never hit Qianshojian. It turned out that Qianshu Janma had been passing the space ninjutsu of Flying Thunder God, avoiding every attack of wooden palm. And as Qianshojian dodged, he slowly escaped from the attack range of wooden palm. Instant kill. When the eternal kaleidoscope turned, The space around the thousand-handed door appeared dislocation. The slashing power of the space dislocation shattered the left arm of Qianshojian. Space imprisoned. The black whirlpool appeared, sucking in the fragments of his left arm. Water escape ocean current impact, thunder done thunder. Combined ninjutsu thunder dragon shocks the waves. A very large area of water began to cover the end valley on a large scale. This piece of water at this time can no longer be called water, but the sea. There are as many as 3 thunder dragons tumbling in the sea. Thunder Dragon took the sea and swept towards Qin Yu directly. Read more at hotmtlnovel.zi. It's really worthy of being the man who is known as the strongest Shui Dun and Lei Dun. This ninjutsu, I give full marks. Advertisement. Qin Yu's eternal kaleidoscope turned, and Suzuo Nohu appeared again. The wooden Buddha's true body turned into fragments and fell to the ground. The strongest Suzuo, drive me. Blood began to flow from the corner of Qin Yu's eyes, and a layer of samurai armor gradually appeared on Suzuo Nohu's body. Boom. The airwave swept across, and Suzuo Nohu spread out 2 pairs of huge wings. Now it's time for me to fight back. Qin Yu controlled Suzuo Nohu, waving his wings and flying into the sky. Bachichang Guyu. 3 chakra energy light clusters similar to the tail beast Jade appeared in front of Suzuo Nohu. Reaching out, the light group threw it towards the second generation Hokage Qianshojian below. Rumbling. 3 8-foot Changgu Jade formed into a triangle shape and exploded around the Qianshojian in the blink of an eye. The huge wave of air not only interrupted the combined ninjutsu in the door, but also blasted the door to pieces. Space imprisoned. The maximum black vortex appeared in the sky above Qianshojian. The huge attraction began to suck in everything nearby. Not only the broken body of Qianshojian was sucked in, but some gravel trees were also sucked in. Everything is over. Qin Yu dispersed Suzuo Nohu, and flew the Thunder God to come to Sarutobi Rizan's side. Qin Yu. The third generation of Hokage, who was completely stunned, looked at Qin Yu who suddenly appeared next to him. As well as the blood hanging from the corner of his eyes, he couldn't help asking a question with concern. Go back. 3 generations old man. Qin Yu wiped the blood from the corner of his eyes and helped the 3 generations up. As if nothing happened. Since the matter is resolved, I also went back to Sun Slash. With a bang, the monkey demon disappeared. But Qin Yu lifted up the one-armed Sape Fei Rizan and disappeared in the same place. The top of the Naruto Tower. Have you found Master Naruto? An Onbi ninja with a cat face mask asked the dozens of Onbi members in front of him. No, everyone shook their heads, obviously not found. Keep looking, you must find Lord Naruto, yes. Just when the members of Anbu were about to go out to search for Hokage again, Qin Yu suddenly appeared with Sarutobi Rizan. Master Naruto. Tianzing hurriedly stepped forward and held Hokage with only one arm left. Looking at the one-armed Hokage, Tianzing hurriedly asked, Master Hokage, I will take you to the hospital. I'm fine. Sarutobi shook his head. There was a loud boom, which was a slight vibration at random. What happened? Sarutobi Hizen looked at Konoha Shinobu village, and one Shozuru appeared and destroyed. That's the tail beast. Sarutobahiri was startled. Accurately speaking, it should be a guard crane. Qin Yu stared at the big yellow civet cat that was wreaking havoc in the distance. Ichi-tailed Morizuru, isn't it the tail beast of Sun and Village? Damn it. Sarutobi Hizen angrily cursed, and then he was about to rush away. Qin Yu reached out and stopped him, saying, let me go. After speaking, Qin Yu flicked Fei Lei Shenkuwu, and his whole person left with Fei Lei Shenkuwu. You rush over to support first, except Tenzo, the rest of the Onbi ninjas all left. We will also rush over as soon as possible. Sarutobi Rizan still felt uneasy, and with the support of Tianzing, he rushed towards Kazuo Morizuru. Chapter 34. Ichio Morizuru advertisement. Kakashi, let's compare it to see who can cause more damage to the tail beast. Metke, with thick eyebrows and big eyes, wore a tight-fitting green combat suit. Metke leapt into the air towards the huge Shuhei in front of him, and volleyed towards Shuhei was a cheating. Akai, be careful. Kakashi, who had opened the riding wheel, could clearly see Shohei's actions. Seeing Metke's offense, Shuhei unexpectedly noticed, and then he reminded him. It seems that to confirm Kakashi's judgment, Shuhei made his own reaction. Jia. Shuhei laughed very harshly, his eyes filled with contempt and violence. With huge eyes looking at Metke who was cheating towards him in the air, he shouted, I'm looking for death. Shohei's tail flicked, and the bottom up towards Metke was a blow against the sky. Not good. Metke saw the beast's tail thrown by the sky, his body tightened. As a shinobu Metke, he knows how to resolve this situation. 8-door Dunjia opened the door, rest the door, new life. After opening 3 doors in a row, Metke's face turned red. The strength of his body skyrocketed, and Metke forcibly retracted his legs in the air. Lianhua. Kicking down with both legs, the air bomb formed by the air blasted towards Shohei's tail. With a loud bang, the tail of the beast was crushed by Metke. But Metke was also knocked into the air by the tail of the guard crane. Cianfa Great Flame Bomb. Faced with the threat of the tail beast, Ji Lai never underestimated it. As early as just now, I started to prepare for the fairy mode. This success is a trick of fairy ninjutsu. The huge fireball with a diameter of about 20 meters and the scorching heat of Sando rushed towards the body of a Shuhei. Absolute defense. Although Shuhei is a tailed beast, it does not mean that it has no wisdom. The tail beast chakra surging in his body not only repaired the broken tail, but also built a defense around him. The yellow sand rushed out of the ground, forming a huge sand barrier in front of the fireball. Under the control and compression of Shuhei, the barrier turned into a black barrier wall. Boom! Jiraiya's fairy fireball hit the defensive barrier built by Shuhei, and the fireball exploded and roared, but it only shattered the defensive barrier of Shuhei. Lei Dun Chidori. The sharp-eared thunder sounded. Kakashi kept dodge the falling of the broken barrier and approached Shuhei. On his right hand, the thunder knife formed by the silver thunder and lightning was piercing and rattling. Boom! Close to Morizuru's body, Kakashi's Chidori ninjutsu with his right hand directly hit Morizoru. The powerful destructive power of Chidori ninjutsu instantly knocked out a wound on the body of Shozuru. With a hit, Kakashi turned and hurried back. He knows very well that his current self is very dangerous. Roar! With a roar that shook the sky, Shuhei ran away. A huge chakra began to gush out, and yellow sand was flying all over the sky. It's now red, Kakashi yelled and looked to the side of Yurihong who had been preparing for a long time. 4 Zeon formations. Under the command of Yurihong, 4 Konoha ninjas made handprints at the same time. Taking the 4 people as the point, 4 purple beams of light rose into the sky. Finally, Ichi-tailed Shuhei, Kakashi and others were completely wrapped in the sealed enchantment of the 4 purple flame array. Everyone let go and attack with all their strength. As soon as the 4 Zeon formations were formed, Zilai Yi and the others also began an unscrupulous attack. Everyone just now, even though they made a move, they still had concerns. Read more at hotmtlnovel.zi. After all, the battle is in the village, and once you start your hands, it will cause serious damage to the village. Advertisement, Cianfa the Fire of the Fairy Dragon. 8 Gate Dunjia Wounded Gate. Do Gate. ... The gorgeous ninjutsu is in the hands of everyone, and it is completely free of money, and it is straight to the one-tailed guard crane. With continuous roars and roars, the situation seems to have improved. When everyone saw that Shuhei was about to lose, Shuhei desperately. In fact, it can't be regarded as desperate. Now it is imprisoned in Gaara's body, so it can't show much strength. So no matter how desperate it is fine. Even with death, Gaara died, and it has nothing to do with it. On the contrary, it was waiting for Gaara to die, so maybe he could take the opportunity to escape from Gaara's body. The chakras all around began to gather, slowly turning from the invisible to the tangible. One after another spheres converge and merge in the air. No, it's Tail Beast Jade. Jiraiya's pupils shrank. He didn't expect that Shuhei would make the Tail Beast Jade. The other people were also shocked, obviously unexpected. No, the 4 purple flame formations should not be able to withstand the Tail Beast Jade, and it will definitely cause a devastating blow to the village by then. Yurihong's face was pale. Apparently it was the first time she had seen a large-scale ninjutsu such as the Tail Beast Jade. When everyone heard the words, their stature went for a while. That's bad. Jilai frowned. You first attack Shuhei, see if you can interrupt him, give me some time, I want to perform fairy skills. Say the same when I stopped to Jilai, everyone chose to believe it. They looked at each other and then killed Shuhei again. Even Shi-Rihong copied the Kuwu detonation talisman and went towards Shuhei. Although Ichi-tailed Shozuru was displaying the Tail Beast Jade, it wasn't just that it couldn't move. I saw its tail fluttering, and it was slapped towards everyone. Rumbling. The crowd dodged for a while, and there was no way to attack with all their strength. Red, be careful. Kakashi shouted. Shohei's tail is a sharp slap towards Shi-Rihong. If this blow hits, it is estimated to be half destructive. Shi-Rihong gritted her teeth, knowing that she couldn't escape with her own speed. So I can only hold kunai and prepare to fight to the death. Bang! Shi-Rihong felt a gust of wind hit her, and suddenly an arm was wrapped around her waist. Turning his head to see, it was a teenager, and this person was Qin Yu. Qin Yu smiled at Shi-Rihong and said, "Are you okay?" When Qin Yu said it, he almost said it against Shi-Rihong's ear. The enthusiasm was pouring, and Qin Yu was still holding her waist, and Shi-Rihong's face was suddenly covered with red clouds. No. Nothing. Shi-Rihong's heartbeat began to accelerate. That's good. If something goes wrong with you, then I will feel so distressed. On the battlefield, Qin Yu still didn't forget to speak out. Qin Yu, why are you here? Seeing Qin Yu who suddenly appeared, Kakashi looked curious and shocked. Just now, Qin Yu suddenly took the tail beast's blow and retreated all over his body. Bringing Shi-Rihong to Jiraiya's side, he watched as he was closing his eyes to replenish the energy of the fairy mode. Wake up, wake up. Qin Yu also awakened Zilai. Zilai opened his eyes and saw Qin Yu on the side, and said angrily, "What are you doing?" I said what are you doing? You can just lie down when you die, why are you playing cool here? Jilai's face twitched. Chapter 35. Shuhei version of Husky. Advertisement. The affectionate old man is playing cool like this. In Jilai's heart, there are really 10,000 alpacas running at this moment. Why are you here suddenly? Seeing Qin Yu who suddenly appeared, Kakashi also rushed over. And Metke, who likes to join in the fun, also rushed over. I just settled something. I saw that you are very happy, so I came over to see if it was a party. I didn't expect it to be. Qin Yu spread out his hands, looking like I thought it was hilarious at the party. Kakashi's face twitched and said loudly, "Can you be serious?" Qin Yu fished out his ears, and looked at Shi Raihong beside him as if he hadn't heard. The hands that hugged Shi Raihong's waist moved slightly on her waist. Shi Raihong looked at Qin Yu blushing. Roar. At this time, a beast roared while guarding a crane. A huge chakra energy light group appeared in front of Shuhei. Although everyone was very far away, they could feel the destructive power contained in this light group. Well, the tail beast Jade is finished. This time is really bad. Ji Lai finally panicked, and the village must be severely damaged. Even Kakashi, who has never panicked, has a serious face now. By the way, Qin Yu, how did you get in through the 4 purple flame formation just now? Kakashi suddenly thought that enchantment ninjutsu was being performed around him. Unless the enchantment ninjutsu is broken, or someone opens an entrance in the enchantment, you will not be able to enter at all. However, Qin Yu was able to come in without these 2 situations, and there was only one explanation. Qin Yu knows time and space ninjutsu, and he is also very clever at time and space ninjutsu. Hearing Kakashi's question, everyone turned around and looked at Qin Yu, obviously they were also curious. No, Qin Yu pointed to Kakashi's suffering. Kakashi looked down at his kunai, and found a circle of black marks on kunai. Flying Thunder God Rune. Jiraiya also exclaimed as soon as he saw the talisman. As one of Konoha's 3 ninjas, his strength is beyond doubt. His knowledge can also be said to be very rich. Moreover, his apprentice Bo Feng Shuiman is also known as the Golden Glitter in the ninja world with the help of Fei Lei Shen ninjutsu. Therefore, as soon as Jiraiya saw this Fei Lei God Rune, he immediately recognized it. That said, you really know space-time ninjutsu. Kakashi got excited, obviously he was thinking of something. Yeah, Qin Yu nodded. He seemed to know Kakashi's thoughts, and said, "Don't think I don't know what you want to do, don't you just want me to use Thunder God to remove his attack?" Kakashi smiled awkwardly. Jiraiya's eyes suddenly lit up, which is indeed a good way. The previous wave of water gates often used this method to divert ninjutsu attacks. I won't do such a troublesome thing, just let him get down on the ground, it needs to be so awkward. Kakashi and Zilai also twitched their faces again, if they could do it, then there would be so much nonsense here. As for Metke, he always smiled slyly beside him, but didn't interrupt. Qin Yu sighed, shook his head, and released the hand on the red waist of the host, Shiri. Qin Yu's eyes directly became an eternal kaleidoscope. When Fei Lei Shen moved, Qin Yu came to a tail of Shohei. Seeing that Shuhei had bitten the tail beast Jade into his mouth, Qin Yu's eyes twitched. The eternal kaleidoscope bloomed, and instantly entered the sealed space of a Shuhei. These eyes, you are from Uchiha, damn it. Seeing Qin Yu's riding wheel eyes, Shohei roared, his eyes full of fierceness. Read more at hotmtlnovel.io, the little civet cat with the red panda's body is so fierce, it seems that you have to tune teach. Advertisement. Qin Yu didn't panic either, and just wrote the round eye illusion. Qin Yu knew that one Shuhei was most afraid of writing round eyes, and what he was most afraid of was illusion. I think back then, when Uchiha Madara caught a Morizuru, one Morizuru refused to accept it. In the end, he was beaten up by Ban to lose his temper, and then he was even more obedient by his writing round eyes. From then on, when Shuhei saw Shaolun Yan, he was scared to find a place to hide. So now when I saw the writing wheel eyes, Shuhei was initially scared. But as soon as I saw that I was not the class, the fear in my heart was not great. The illusion of writing round eyes instantly pulled a tail of Moru Suru into the illusion space. In the illusion space, Qin Yu guarded the death of Heiao, as if several days had passed. However, only 3 seconds passed in reality. Unraveling the illusion of writing round eyes, one Shozuru fell on the ground trembling instantly. Obviously in the illusion space, it has been severely abused. Violence is no longer in his eyes, but full of panic. It's like a frightened kitten, a little flustered. Now, can you still speak well? Seeing Qin Yu's kind smile, one Shuhei couldn't help standing upside down. Shaking his body, he hurriedly said to Qin Yu to please. Yes, you can rest assured, I will definitely speak well. Shuhei wagging his tail, a modern version of Erha alive and well. Then do you know what to do now? Ah, Shuhei looked at Qin Yu dumbfounded, and I don't know what to do. Can you tell me what to do with this? Shuhei blinked his pitiful eyes and looked cute. Seeing Shuhei's forcibly selling cuteness, Qin Yu's face suddenly twitched. This Shuhei is too much. Give me the tail beast Jade, and then go back to the little panda and stay inside. Okay. Shuhei shook his tail and nodded vigorously. Remember not to be clever, otherwise you know. After Qin Yu left, his voice still echoed in this space. Seeing Qin Yu's departure, he stayed on the ground with exhaustion. Humanely used his beast claws to wipe the cold sweat on his forehead. What happened just now? Although a period of time has passed in the sealed space, in reality, only 1 second has passed. In everyone's eyes, Qin Yu just went to Shuhei, stared at it and returned directly. Seeing Qin Yu who came back again, everyone's eyes were puzzled. Why are you back again? Kakashi was puzzled. After going back and forth, what Qin Yu was doing. Nani? Jiraiya on the side suddenly saw something surprised. His eyes stared directly at Shohei, his face was full of surprised expressions. Everyone looked towards Shuhei with a look of stunned expression. Shuhei, who bit the tail beast jade, suddenly swallowed the tail beast jade. Swallowed directly into the stomach. What is this operation? I have never seen the tail beast cast the tail beast jade and need to swallow it. Boom. There was a blast, and the body of a Shuhei broke apart. The aftermath of an explosion centered on Shuhei and began to scatter in all directions. Everyone, be careful. After Jiraiya also reminded him, it was a defensive ninjutsu move and began to resist the aftermath of the explosion. The other people are also doing the same, one after another defensive ninjutsu. Chapter 36, Konoha Hero. Advertisement. When Jiraiya was worried about how to resist the aftermath of the explosion, Qin Yu's hand held her again. What? Jiraiya let out a scream, apparently he didn't expect Qin Yu to be like this all of a sudden. Mu done absolute defense. The wood broke out of the ground and enveloped Qin Yu and Jiraiya. The wood overlaps and surrounds, forming a multi-layered wooden defensive ball. This is the ninjutsu that Qin Yu suddenly thought of, and it was also inspired by Gaara. Woo. Inside the wooden defensive ball, Qin Yu deliberately controlled the space inside the ball, making himself and Jiraiya completely close together. Qin Yu took the opportunity to directly follow Jiraiya to kiss. Click. The aftermath raged, impacting on the CZN formation. The huge impact force cracked the four purple flame formations. Countless cracks, climbing on the barrier of the four purple flame array. Quickly, let's bless with ninjutsu. The Onbi ninja arrived, saw the shaky four purple flame formation, divided into four corners and stepped forward to help. Injecting his chakra into the body of the enchantment caster, the enchantment that was crumbling suddenly glowed. There was a sudden tremor on the barrier that was originally full of cracks, and the cracks began to heal. In the end, when the aftermath of the explosion was completely over, the four purple flame array was intact. In the enchantment ninjutsu, the smoke is full of smoke. After everything calmed down, everyone appeared ashamed from various places. The messiest of them belonged to Metke and Kakashi. When the three of them came to their original positions, they all gave out bitter smiles after seeing each other's appearance. This is. Looking at the destroyed spherical wood, the wry smile on Jiraiya's face changed again, turning into shock. Wouldn't escape like Yamato. Kakashi frowned, looking at the sudden appearance of Mu-dun, very puzzled. Obviously he didn't know how this Mu-dun came from. When everyone looked at the wooden ball formed by Mu-dun in doubt, the wood on the wooden ball began to move. The wood trembles, and then one after another burrows into the ground. Qin Yu and Jiraiya emerged from the wooden defensive ball. Seeing the flushed Jiraiya and Qin Yu with a smile on his face, although everyone felt something in their hearts, they did not speak. Obviously, they are not easy to say anything about this kind of thing. This was Mu-dun ninjutsu just now. Where is the little panda? He should be alive. Go and see. Qin Yu didn't return to Zilai, but he took Jiraiya and walked towards the barrier. Ji-Lai also wanted to ask more clearly, but found that Qin Yu was no longer there, so he had to move towards the position of Shohei just now. After all, the strength of the person who guarded the crane was still there. If Shuhei ran away again for a while, it would be a disaster again. Qin Yu, how is the matter? As soon as Qin Yu pulled Jiraiya to leave the enchantment, he saw Sarutobi Rizwan. It's all fine, I'll go back first. Qin Yu pulled Jiraiya and was about to leave. Looking at the appearance of Qin Yu and Jiraiya, how could the mature Sarutobi Rizwan not see the trickiness? After a moment of coldness in my heart, he yelled at his foolish son Sarutobi Asma. I chased a girlfriend who hadn't been chased for so many years, so Qin Yu succeeded. What has he been doing all these years? Read more at hotmtlnovel.zi. Although his heart is cold, he can't say anything. Advertisement. After all, it's the young people's own business, and everything must be solved by the young people themselves. Turning his head melancholy, he walked towards the barrier. After that, everything is happy. Gaara wakes up, and the tail beast in the body is suppressed. The village was victorious in the turmoil. And Qin Yu's performance in this turmoil was seen by everyone, whether it was a civilian or a ninja. Invisible, he has become Konoha's hero. Of course, Qin Yu didn't know all this. What Qin Yu didn't even knew was that through this turmoil, Sarutobi Rizwan suddenly felt that he was old. After he handled everything, he asked Konoha's consultants Mito Menyon and Zhuan Shaochun, as well as some Konoha's senior staff, to convene to the Hokage office. In the office, Sarutobi Hazaki made an amazing decision. That is to prepare to pass his position of Naruto to Qin Yu Uchiha. As soon as this decision came out, it was initially strongly opposed by Mito Menyon and Zhuan Shaochun. However, Sarutobi, who was a Naruto, was forced to decide and did not allow the two to oppose. Perhaps in some things, Sarutobi Hizen will be vacillating. But in some things, he made a decision, which cannot be easily changed. And this is also going on in secret. In Konoha, no one except the high level knows about this decision, including Shimura Danzo. As for Qin Yu, he is now pulling the still dizzy Jiraiya while the iron is hot, and arrives at his home. Then with his half push and half play, he started the first flying chess in the sense of life. It's not easy to say what flying chess is, as everyone knows it. When Yurihong turned around, the two had already started a new round of flying chess. Qin Yu, Hokage is looking for you to go to the Hokage office. After receiving Hokage's order, the purple-haired ninja Azuki Yuyan came to Qin Yu's door. But when she came to Qin Yu's door, she heard the cry of ecstasy in the room. Naturally, I knew what was going on in the room, so I didn't dare to knock on the door, let alone speak. Reluctantly, I could only stand at the door and listen to the movement in the house, until the house calmed down completely, and then spoke. With a creak, Qin Yu walked out. Looking at the flushed Uzu Xian happily, she joked, "I'm sorry, I've been waiting for a long time." Mao Yu Xian's face became even more red, this B asterisk 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 D, deliberately. Knowing I'm outside, and, although she knew, she would not admit it directly, but said, "I just arrived too." Oh, Qin Yu gave her a funny look, then closed the door and left. Mao Yu Xian shook her teeth and followed. The two walked towards the Hokage office unhurriedly. As soon as he arrived at the Hokage tower, Qin Yu saw Shikamaru coming out of the Hokage tower, and Shikamaru also saw him. "Qin Yu, why do you have time to come to Huo Yinglu?" Seeing Shikamaru's puzzled expression, Qin Yu smiled and said casually, "Hokage is looking for me." "Hokage is looking for you." Shikamaru became more puzzled, and asked, "What is Hokage suddenly looking for? It's not for promotion, right?" Qin Yu shook his shoulders, patted Lumaru's shoulder, and said earnestly, "Maybe it's for me to be Hokage." Shikamaru was taken aback, and when he reacted, Qin Yu had already walked into the Hokage building. I won't be joking like this. Obviously, he took what Qin Yu said as a joke. But he didn't care. In his opinion, maybe Qin Yu didn't know what he was called to Huo Yinglo. Just as Shikamaru was about to leave, Hokage Tower just came out alone, and that was his father Nara Shikahisa. Chapter 37. Words of Zhu Xin. Advertisement. Father. Seeing his father Nara Shikaju suddenly came out, Shikamaru also stopped leaving. "You saw him. You mean Qin Yu?" Lumaru thought of Qin Yu who had just met. Nara Shika nodded for a long time. "Shikamaru, although you have been promoted to Zongren, you can't be proud. You have to work harder." Nara Shika sighed for a long time and looked at Shikamaru with a bit of hatred for iron and steel. Shikamaru looked at his father suspiciously, how could he suddenly say this to him? Is it because he is afraid that he will endure in the promotion? Unknown, Shikamaru could only cope with it and replied, "Ong-ang, got it. Otherwise, you will be thrown away too much by others." Shikamaru then reacted and said, "Is my father talking about Qin Yu? I can guess that he was promoted directly to Shinobu." "You can guess a fart." Nara Luji rolled his eyes and said, "He is not promoted to Shinobu. When I met him just now, he was still bragging that he was going to be Hokage." Ha ha. After hearing this for a long time, Naralu was taken aback. Then he looked at Shikamaru blankly. Gradually, Shikamaru's expression began to become more exciting. From the initial calm, to surprise, to complete shock in the end. "FK, don't you say?" Narashika nodded for a long time, and said, "Yes, the previous 3 generations of adults have already notified me. Nara Lukisa, that is the strategist known as Konoha. As Konoha's shinobu, he can know many things in advance. Shikamaru, look at your classmate Qin Yu, who is about to become Hokage, so you can't slack off, you know." Seeing Nara's serious expression, Shikamaru also nodded. Damn, he was not bragging just now. Shikamaru was completely shocked and hadn't slowed down. All this is so dreamy. The joke just now became reality in an instant. Let's go back. Nara Shikaji put his son Shikamaru on the shoulders and took him away. And Qin Yu came to Hokage's office while they were talking. Seeing several people standing in Hokage's office, Qin Yu suddenly regretted coming over. Could it be that these 3 generations really want to pass on? No, I just said it casually just now. When Qin Yu walked in, Mito Menyan and Zhuan Shaochun kept their eyes fixed on them. Although he was not afraid of them, Qin Yu felt a little hairy in his heart by being stared at by them like this. These 2 people don't think too much about themselves, right? Thinking of this, Qin Yu couldn't help but stumble. If Zhuan Shaochun and Mito Menyan knew what Qin Yu was thinking now, they would have to fight each other in minutes. "You are Uchiha Qin Yu." Menyan Mito looked at Qin Yu and asked with dissatisfaction. Hearing this arrogant voice with dissatisfaction, Qin Yu replied uncomfortably, "It's my little master." "Zidi, do you need a signature?" "Sorry, this is for an appointment to line up." Sarutobi Ri was stunned for a while, and then he was secretly happy. Jiraiya was holding back the smile on his face, twitching slightly. This Qin Yu is too. Menyan Mito was a bit silly when he heard Qin Yu say this. What's the situation? He is Konoha's consultant. Read more at hotmtlnovel.zi. When does someone talk to themselves like this? Advertisement. The anger was rising, and his face was full of anger. What are you talking about? Did you talk to elders like this? Elder. Qin Yu looked at Mito Menyan with slanted eyes, grinned and asked, why do you think you can be an elder? As Konoha's consultant, Mito is not your elder. Zhuan Shaochun interrupted angrily. Obviously, he was very dissatisfied with Qin Yu's attitude. Qin Yu smiled, you did it yourself, don't blame me. Since you have said that you are Konoha's consultants, then I have to write 2 articles. What do you want to ask? Turning to bed, Shaochun's face was dark. Thinking that they had been in Konoha for a long time, they had never been like this before. Maybe the 3 generations of Nishin who are Hokage can treat them like this, but Hokage has never treated them like this. However, this junior Qin Yu dares to do this today. This is not going to shake the sky. I want to ask you two people. Having been in a high position for so many years, I don't know what contribution the two have made to Konoha. Or, what did the two of you give for Konoha? Qin Yu's voice was not loud, but it was very powerful. After a word, the faces of Mito Menyon and Zhuan Shaochun suddenly changed. Obviously, they did not make any contribution to Konoha. Even if it did, it was how long ago it was, and they had forgotten it a long time ago. And being so naked by Qin Yu, it would be a hell of a face to look good. But for the sake of their own face, they couldn't admit what Qin Yu said. Menyon Mito snorted and said, "Contribution, the contribution we made to Konoha, that was how long ago it was, how can we still remember it now? Yes, it's meaningless for you to pick up these old things." Qin Yu didn't refute, but instead sat down in a chair. Looking at the two Konoha consultants, Qin Yu asked again, "Since you said that the old things have been forgotten before, then I will treat them as if you have forgotten them." But, Qin Yu said in a long voice, "This time in the Konoha rebellion, I wandered through the Konoha ninja village. It seems that I didn't see the two of them. I wonder if they are going to work again." Mito Menyon and Zhuan Shaochun suddenly became quiet. "I want to speak, but I don't know what to say. Could it be that because I was greedy for life and afraid of death, I hid and didn't participate in the battle?" Obviously they can't say it. The two of them were so awkwardly stunned that they opened their mouths and didn't know what to say. Jiraiya also looked at the two of them like this, and was also taken aback. "These two people, this is by the general. Okay, don't pinch up as soon as you meet." Sarutobi Hizen saw that it was almost done, and he opened his mouth to break the deadlock. Obviously he also knows Mito Menyon and Zhuan Shaochun's deeds. However, he was also a high-level Konoha, plus a disciple who was also a second-generation Hokage, he didn't say much. Furthermore, although the two have not made any contribution to Konoha now, when they were young, they were often born and died for Konoha. It's just that the two people who have been in high positions for a long time have a different mentality. Sarutobi Rizhin also happened to borrow Qin Yu's hand to beat them to let them know. Now that the goal has been achieved, he naturally has to show up and continue to be his peacemaker. Seeing Sarutobi Rizhin speak, Qin Yu curled his lips. The old fox knew how to use me. But having said that, it's really cool to be ashamed of them just now. Qin Yu, I called you today because I have a very important thing to discuss with you. Seeing the serious look of Sarutobi Rizhin, Qin Yu subconsciously asked, "What's the matter?" Sarutobi Rizhin took a sip of the pipe in his hand and stared at Qin Yu. "Qin Yu, I have been sitting in this position for many years." Sarutobi Rizhin's voice was full of memories. Okay. Seeing the solitary beginning of Sarutobi Rizhin, Qin Yu raised his eyebrows subconsciously. Chapter 38. Danzo Shimura. Advertisement. There is something wrong with this old man. Could it be that what I said casually downstairs just now will be fulfilled? It makes no sense. Originally it was passed down to 4 generations, but Watergate. Tomorrow will be a wizard, but he will die young. Speaking of the dead 4 generations of Hokage wave Feng Shui Gate, the 3rd generation of Naruto Sarutobi cannot help but feel sentimental. So, later the old man had to take up the burden of Hokage again. In this position, it took more than 10 years to sit in this position. But since a few years ago, I felt old and physically weak, and my body was a little unable to do anything. Especially the previous battles not only consumed me too much, but also lost an arm, so now I am even more incapable of the position of Hokage. Sarutobi said slowly. The corners of Qin Yu's mouth twitched. Mater, the more you talk about it, the more it looks like that. In fact, the old man has been seriously looking for candidates for the next generation of Hokage over the years, but he has never found a suitable one. Until not long ago, the old man finally found a suitable candidate. At this point, Sarutobi Rizhin seemed a little excited. Ahem. Qin Yu felt that if the 3 generations of Naruto Sarutobi, the 3 generations of Naruto, continue to speak, his future will be clearly arranged. So, it's time to take action. Qin Yu interrupted the 3 generations immediately and said, "Oh. That's what happened. But, you don't need to tell me about this kind of thing." What? Everyone was stunned, and the 3 generations were not only stunned, but also stunned. Succession to Naruto is such a big thing. No need to tell you. In the next moment, Qin Yu stood up in the stunned eyes of the 4 people. He came to Jiraiya like a big brother and patted him on the shoulder. Qin Yu said earnestly, "Laughter Fairy. After so many years, it seems that you have finally made it through. It must be that you went back to the village in time that day, and you worked hard to suppress the psychic beasts, and the old man finally passed the position of Hokage to your disciple." Quote question mark. Everyone in the Naruto office was once again dumbfounded. Damn, is this brat really stupid, or is he still playing stupid here? The 3 generations of Naruto Sarutobi had just said this for good, but you ended up saying this. This is a hammer. Congratulations, well, see you later. Qin Yu took advantage of everyone's stunned effort, smearing oil on the soles of his feet, and wanted to slip away first. However, this leg hasn't been opened yet. The 3rd generation of Naruto Tobihiro suddenly patted the Hokage desk. Roared. Come back to the old man, you give it to the B**********D. Seeing that the strategy was seen through, Qin Yu curled his lips and sat down again. Only then did the other people react. With this series of reactions and bullshit actions, it turns out that this guy is pretending to be a fool. Randomly turned around and thought, but everyone was once again confused. What is going on? Could it be that the world has changed? Konoha's position of Naruto, has it become so worthless now? Smelly boy, I really don't know how your head grows. The reaction is so slippery. You directly pushed this thing on my head. Jiraiya also rolled his eyes and said in dissatisfaction. Sarutobi Hijin hummed, and said, if this guy is suitable for Hokage, there would be no Watergate in the first place. Jiraiya's nature is arrogant and unconstrained, and he is not the material for Hokage at all. Qin Yu spread his hands and said, so what? What's the matter? Let's just talk about it. The three generations of Naruto Sarutobi looked at Qin Yu with a serious expression, and said, Qin Yu, after a resolution between the old man and Konoha's high-level management, decided to recommend you to succeed Konoha's fifth-generation Hokage. Qin Yu was not surprised that Sarutobi Rijin would say so. Read more at hotmtlnovel.zi. It is directly a serious refusal. I don't want it. I refuse. I don't do it. Advertisement. It's just one key and 3 links, which obviously means nothing will work. Whoever wants to take the position of Naruto, don't look for me. Quote. Everyone was speechless at the same time. What's this special? You do not want. You refuse. You do not dare. What do you think Naruto is? The 3 generations of Naruto Sarutobi glared at Qin Yu, and continued. Let's continue to discuss your successor to Hokage. Also discussing a fur ball, I can tell you, When Qin Yu was about to refuse again, with a bang, the door of Hokage's office was kicked open. At the same time, a very old voice came in from outside the door. You are too much. The next Hokage candidate, you didn't tell me about such a big thing, so you made a hasty decision. Qin Yu didn't need to turn his head back. Listen to this voice, listen to this gesture. Needless to think, this person is Konoha's Danzo. This is an ironclad hammer. Sure enough, as soon as Qin Yu turned his head, he saw a man with a cane wrapped in bandages all over his body. Oh, this is troublesome. The appearance of Shimura Danzo raised his eyebrows at Sarutobi Hidazo, who was a third-generation Naruto. As for Konoha's 2 consultants, Mito Menyon and Zhuan Shaochun also glanced at each other complicatedly. They see other variables in their eyes. And this variable is due to the arrival of Danzo. Danzo frowned and walked in angrily from the door. As soon as I came in, I realized that everyone was sitting, only standing alone. Even as a junior Uchiha Qin Yu, he is also the old god with the Erlang's legs upright. Seeing this, Danzo can't help but feel a little embarrassed. In order to save face and avoid embarrassment, Tuan Zhang attacked Qin Yu. Uchiha Qin Yu, right. In your opinion, you are sitting here and I am standing here, do you think this is appropriate? Tuan Zhang's voice was full of threats. Obviously he wanted to take this opportunity to show Qin Yu a good look. It's really not suitable. Qin Yu also nodded when he heard the words, agreeing quite with what Danzang said. Seeing Qin Yu's cooperation in this way, Tuan Zhang was a little bit fluttered. In his opinion, Qin Yu should have been frightened by his threats just now. I couldn't help but secretly said in my heart. That's it, it's just a kid. Even if you have some strength, you still have to be obedient. Jiraiya, who knew a little about Qin Yu, raised his eyebrows. In his impression, is Qin Yu so scared? Sure enough, the real Qin Yu appeared in the next second. If you feel uncomfortable standing, you can choose to squat, or you can choose to kneel and thank you. I think there are so many people here, no one will stop you. With a poof, the tea that Jiraiya had just drunk in his mouth spurted out. The tea turned into tea mist flying all over the sky, reflecting on his face. He wanted to swear to God to prove his innocence. Just now, he really endured it. However, he didn't hold it back. Chapter 39. Hard and Hard. Advertisement. The pattern was teased by Qin Yu, and he immediately furiously said, good boy, no one has dared to talk to the old man like this for many years. Even if Jiraiya, who is around older than you, dare not talk to the old man like that, you are a bit presumptuous. Hearing this, Jiraiya also let out a soft snort. Although Tuanzang is his uncle, the two of them are usually relieved. In addition, over the years, he himself has received a lot of anger from Tuanzang. Had it not been for Konoha and the teacher, he would have wanted him a long time ago. Now that Qin Yu is so direct and tough, Jiraiya is naturally happy to see it. He is him, I am me, he dare not do my things, don't think that if he comes out to play, you will be majestic. Qin Yu sneered in disdain. Jiraiya was dumbfounded too, this trooper. I just sat quietly, how come I'm still? Tuan Zhang slapped the table and angrily said, you can know who I am, I'm so crazy. Who are you doing my bird business, do I know the names of those cats and dogs? Qin Yu took out the earwax in his ears and turned his head aside. I'm too lazy to take care of you. Seeing Qin Yu's posture, Tuan Zhang was so angry that he died on the spot. Originally thinking of giving Qin Yu off the horse and frightening him. As a result, this girl didn't follow the normal routine at all. How can this be played, how can this continue? Seeing Tuan Zhang being ascended to heaven by Qin Yu's first Buddha and the second Buddha was born, Shaochun couldn't sit still after turning to bed. Although Qin Yu was speechless just now, he still had to speak out in the face of being embarrassed by his comrades. Qin Yu, this is the Hokage office, speak respectfully. Qin Yu looked at Xiaochun turning to bed, smiled slightly and said, you haven't been beaten enough just now, do you want to continue? You. Turning to bed, Xiaochun looked at Qin Yu bitterly, and then stopped talking. Danzo didn't think the form was right, but Sarutobi Hazaki is Naruto. Turning his head to see, Sarutobi Risen was the old god smoking a pipe and drinking tea, as if nothing happened just now. When Sarutobi Risen saw Danzo rushing in just now, he understood. The boy Tuan Zhang came to find the fault on purpose today, so he ignored Qin Yu when he saw Qin Yu there. He is so old and good, but just now I saw Qin Yu assaulting two old friends. That amazing skill can also be used to beat Danzo. The only thing that made Sarutobi Risen a little headache was that Qin Yu was a bit stingy. Listen to me. Tuan Zhang said loudly to Qin Yu. Old man, I am the master of the roots. Have you heard that? Did you go out to eat garlic this morning? Qin Yu clutched his nose and looked at Tuan Zhang disgustedly. The root, what is that? Root, or garlic root, never heard of it, is it famous? I don't know Qin Yu's face, what are you talking about? Can you tell me something I know, why is it inexplicable? You, seeing Qin Yu's blank expression on his face, coupled with the words that were like soul torture just now. An old face of Tuan Zhang flushed suddenly, and Qin Yu trembled when he pointed his fingers at him, obviously feeling angry. What can he say, how can he respond? Read more at hotmtlnovel.zi, could he be able to tell them straightforwardly in front of everyone present, my roots are awesome. Advertisement. Can you tell them directly, as long as Konoha can't see everything, it is our roots doing it. How could Danzo say this? Before Dan Zhang could attack again, Qin Yu began to counterattack. Everything, I say nothing, I guess it's cold. Qin Yu looked at Tuan Zhang and started to stun people. Do you know who I am? Do you know my name? As soon as Danzo was about to speak, Qin Yu interrupted him directly, and then said, I am Konoha's hero, you know it. You let me, as the Konoha hero, give you my seat. I want to ask, can you make a face? Wouldn't you be ashamed and ashamed? Zilai's face twitched, apparently caught by Qin Yu's trick. As for Mito Menyon and Zhuan Xiaochun, they turned their faces in other directions. It seemed like I didn't know anything just now. But looking at the twitching expressions on their faces, it was obvious that they were also softened by Qin Yu. Everyone secretly said in their hearts, you are a hero, but you have never seen someone like you. Have you seen any heroes? Have you talked about yourself as a hero? Obviously not, but Konoha now has it. Although I was thundered, there is only one word in Zilai's heart, that is, cool. Even the 3 generations of Naruto Sarutobi, sitting behind the Naruto table, have no expression on their faces, but they also have the same word in their heart, cool. Tuan Zhang was so shocked by Qin Yu that his whole body was shaking. This Qin Yu is like a hedgehog. No matter where you utter, you can't escape the fate of being pierced. Danzo, who looked back, could only endure his trembling body, and asked Sarutobi Hizen behind the Hokage table, Hizen, is this the Hokage you chose? Yes. Sarutobi Hizen nodded firmly. Tuan Zhang was dazed by time. I thought I didn't ask the dialogue, and asked another way, do you think he can really lead Konoha? Can. Sarutobi Hiji didn't talk much, but every word was full of certainty. Seeing that the 3 generations were so determined, Danzo suddenly lost his rationality. Rezon, are you crazy? Just let such a little boy be Hokage, are you confused? Although Mito Menyon and Zhuanxi Xiaochun are a little bit awkward, they are Konoha's consultants after all. Everything starts with Konoha. Now seeing Danzo's irrational speech, he also ranted, Danzo, this is the Hokage office. Do you know what you said just now? You guys. Danzo looked at Mito Menyon and Zhuan Xiaochun, who were suddenly fighting with him, and his face suddenly became gloomy. Seems to be aware of the mistake he made just now, so I had to shut up. Originally, Danzang didn't have much to say, and it was normal for this matter to pass. But who is Qin Yu? That is a hedgehog. Who should catch and pierce whom? Now Tuan Zhang thinks that's it, but Qin Yu doesn't want to. No, the counterattack full of thorns began. Qin Yu smiled, looked at Danzang and said, by the way, when there is turmoil, I should be running back and forth on the entire battlefield. I don't seem to see such an old thing as you being there. Even the thing you just mentioned, the root is, it seems that a ninja with the root hasn't seen it, you guys don't hide and watch the show. Chapter 40. Playing with Shimura Danzo. Advertisement. Okay. Sarutobi Risen suddenly became suspicious. He frowned, as if he had caught something crucial, something that he had always missed. Shimura Danzo, an old thing, doesn't eat dry rice. After so many years of acting style, he has long cultivated his psychological quality. Hearing Qin Yu's question that penetrated into his soul, Tuan Zhang suddenly slapped the table and roared. Huh, what do you kid know? The root is an important power hidden in Konoha's secrets. Can you easily say that you want to send it out? The old man has his own way of doing things, and it is not your turn for a little devil to point his fingers here. Qin Yu sneered and said, hide you a fairy. Konoha is almost gone. Your grandma is a bear and hides a feather and a fart. Huh, what do you kid know? This old man is to prevent new accidents from happening. This is called double insurance. How can you understand the old man's good intentions? Moreover, even if the old man didn't take action, wouldn't Konoha's crisis still survive? Shimura Danzo knew that he had fallen into Qin Yu's pit, but he explained it forcefully. But is there anyone here who is stupid? No, all these are old fairies. The eyes of everyone looking at Dan Zhang showed a little inexplicable meaning. Let's listen, everyone, listen to this person still speaking. This is the so-called reason at the root, the so-called reason, I am. Qin Yu sneered and said, I think you want to preserve the strength of your roots. Preserving strength. Yes, you are right. What's wrong with the old man letting the roots preserve strength? Danzo glanced at everyone, and then said with an awe-inspiring expression, all I have done is for Konoha. Upon hearing this, Qin Yu smiled. I dug such a big hole just to wait for you to jump. Now that you are so cooperative, it's my turn. I didn't say you were wrong to preserve your strength. It's just that your so-called preservation of strength is specifically for Konoha or for yourself. Your so-called roots do not know whether they belong to Konoha or the roots of a person in your Danzo. Qin Yu's words came straight into everyone's hearts. The discoloration of everyone suddenly changed and became gloomy. The three generations of Naruto Sarutobi, Naruto Kaharu, and Mito Menyon were even more contemplative. Looking at the people who were in deep thought, Qin Yu threw a heavy bomb again without dismissing it as a big deal. I think your old man has ulterior motives. You deliberately took the opportunity to consume Hokage's strength, but you are unscathed. The atmosphere suddenly became dull. This is no longer the kind of messing around like before, now the meaning of this matter is different. Once confirmed and implemented, even Danzang has no good fruits. Hole. You are bloody and nonsense. Tuan Zhang pointed at Qin Yu, his fingers trembling constantly. This was not only annoyed by Qin Yu, but also frightened. Oh, Qin Yu twitched his mouth and laughed. Since you said I was bleeding and talking nonsense, then I would like to ask you. I heard that Konoha also had a great chaos 13 years ago. The situation was countless times worse than it is now. Even the 4 generations of Hokage were killed in battle, dare to ask if it was. Everyone was taken aback. What happened to Qin Yu? In other words, I suddenly mentioned these old things. And it's still more than 10 years old. Tuan Zhang did not hear what was wrong with Qin Yu's words, so he admitted and said, yes. Just as you said. Read more at hotmtlnovel.zi. When Qin Yu saw that Tuan Zhang had spoken in cooperation again, it was a joy for a moment. Advertisement. Looking at Tuan Zhang with a smile, his words were astonishing. In that case, I don't know if you still have your roots, old fellow, have you been dispatched? Nani? Tuan Zhang was shocked, and it turned out that Qin Yu was digging a hole and waiting for him here. Everyone's eyes changed and they became cold. The 3 generations of Naruto Sarutobi, his eyes were full of coldness. Recalling the Kyuubi rebellion that year, it was true that Danzo and Gen were not seen. More than this time, and every time Konoha died, Danzo and his roots were not seen. In other words, everything Qin Yu said just now is well documented, and it's all conclusive evidence. Even Mito Menyon and Zhuan Shaochun, who often go with Tuan Zhang, have some bad eyes at this time. The current issue is no longer a matter of interest. It's about the issue of Konoha village. Why do you all look at me like this? Isn't everything I did for Konoha and for the village? Danzang was already a little flustered. He didn't expect that today, Qin Yu would be dug one after another by the little devil. And it was extremely miserable. Danzo, you have changed, you have gone bad. The only blame is that I have indulged you too much these years. Sarutobi Hisaki's voice was very heavy, obviously he was disappointed in Danzo. Thinking of what Danzo has done over the years, Rijin's heart can't help but become heavy. Originally thought that Danzo and himself were both the 2nd generation of Hokage's disciples, it should be for the village wholeheartedly. Even if there are differences in opinions in some respects, it is for the village. Never thought that all of this was for himself. In order to be able to seize Konoha's power, he sat on Konoha's Hokage position, since he did such a thing. Sarutobi could not help but start to reflect on whether he had really done something wrong over the years. You. Danzo's face was panicked, he didn't expect Sarutobi Hizen to treat him like this. Qin Yu looked at Tuan Zhang and saw that the fire he was burning was not big enough, so he couldn't help adding it again. Danzo is indeed for Konoha, but only for his own Konoha. D will only be bloody and nonsense. Danzang is really panicked now. But facing Danzo's rebuttal at this time, how many people would believe him now? The 3 generations of Hokage looked at Danzo and asked Shen, what did you come here specially for today? If it is to prevent Qin Yu from inheriting the position of Hokage, then you are late, and he has already rejected it before you come. Nani? Danzo is really dumbfounded. At the same time, he couldn't understand Qin Yu, and he would reject such a high-ranking position as Hokage. As long as he became Hokage, he would stand in one of the highest positions in the ninja world. You must know that the former ninja Asura Uchiha Madara was also coveting this Naruto position. However, Qin Yu did give up, abandoning this high position. However, if you give up, you should also talk about it first. You said it first, as for so many things. It's better now, I didn't do anything to others, instead I got into a commotion. At this moment, Danzo really wanted to give himself a big mouth. Chapter 41, Let's do it. Advertisement. Qin Yu squinted at Tuan Zhang and said, Don't think that everyone is like you, staring at the Hokage's position all day long. Tell you, this so-called Hokage's position is not rare for me. You. Tuan Zhang was so shocked by Qin Yu that his whole body trembled. For the so-called position of Hokage, he does everything he can. He even did something that was almost unforgivable and at the same time abhorrent. However, in the eyes of others, is Hokage's position so worthless? FK it, what the hell am I here for today? Danzo was about to collapse, and the line of defense in his heart had already burst on a large scale. He didn't expect that Qin Yu's hedgehog would hurt his whole body today. He was taken to jump into the pit from beginning to end, but he jumped even stupidly. In other words, if you really have the ability to become Hokage, the second generation of Hokage has long passed you the position of Hokage. But reality. The reality is that the position of Hokage really didn't pass to you. Qin Yu smiled, ridiculing extremely. What? Danzo was furious. The crutches he had been leaning in his hands were thrown away, and he hammered the table with both hands. He has never been so sad as he is today, and he is speechless. Facing the second-generation Hokage legend, this has always been a thorn in his heart. Now that Qin Yu said so nakedly, Danzo remembered that his favorite teacher had chosen Risen as the new generation of Naruto, and he was sad and angry. This incident can be said to have become Danzo's lifelong injury. Danzo knew that he couldn't stay any longer, otherwise he couldn't stand it anymore. Since this kid refuses to become Hokage, then the position of Hokage will choose a day to discuss it carefully. I will leave first. Angrily picked up the crutches on the ground, and walked away. Qin Yu looked at Tuan Zhang who was about to leave, and his heart turned. You've all played to this point, why are you leaving? What will I do next when you are gone? No, you can't go. I suddenly decided temporarily, I'd better succeed as the fifth generation of Hokage. Qin Yu said suddenly before going out again in Tuan Zhang. Everyone was shocked. What the hell? You were willing to be Hokage again. Sarutobi Hazaki and Jiraiya also glanced at each other, and they both found smiles in their eyes. As for Mito Menitus and turning to sleep, Xiaochun has a painful expression on his face. You dared to love you just now, you were playing a drama and teasing you. As for Shimura Danzo, who just walked to the door, he suddenly turned his head and started to explode. Uchiha Qin Yu of Malagobi, you dare to play old man on horseback, old man, I'm fighting with you. As the king of Konoha's secret forces, Danzo was obviously broken by Qin Yu. Seeing Tuan Zhang rushing towards him, Qin Yu sneered. Old stuff, you brought this to your door, so you can't blame me. The power flashes on the right, and the chakra hand knife formed by Thunder Dunk is formed in an instant. Qin Yu split Danzang's walking stick into two knots when he slashed in the air. With a movement of Qin Yu's figure, he had already arrived behind Tuan Zhang. The hand knife with thunder and lightning in his right hand was also placed on Danzo's neck. Everyone was stunned. This is the beginning. This is like a fight if you don't agree. Read more at hotmtlnovel.zi. Feeling the sharpness of the thunder and lightning chakra's hand knife on his neck, Tuan Zhang couldn't help swallowing the saliva in his mouth. Advertisement. At this moment, Xiaochun regained consciousness after turning to bed, slapped the table and suddenly shouted, Qin Yu, what are you doing? After being so drunk, Mito Menyon turned around and said quickly, no matter how you say Danzo, he has made great achievements for Konoha. Do you want to betray the village if you do this now? Mito Menyon suddenly buckled a big hat. Betraying the village, this is not a trivial matter, nor is it a trivial matter. Although the two of them suddenly had trouble dealing with Danzo just now, after all, the feelings were still there and the interest was still there. In order to maintain their former interests, they still have to choose to support Danzo. What's more, when Qin Yu shot, the two of them also saw a thick warning from Qin Yu's hands. It was a provocation to them, it was a provocation to Konoha's senior management. Today, he dared to act on Danzo, and he would act on himself whenever he didn't. At the thought of this, both of them had to speak. They thought that as long as they stood at the commanding heights of morality, they could make Qin Yu obedient and obedient. But they were wrong. After all, ideals are beautiful, but reality is quite cruel. Facing the two people's verbal condemnation and tagging, Qin Yu was not afraid. Looking at the two with sarcasm, he questioned, are you two blind or something? Did I do it first? Mito Menyon and Zhuan Xiaochun turned their heads to think about it. It seemed that Danzo had acted first. Unable to get embarrassed, but still calmly said, Danzo just wants to teach you a lesson, so you can use the knife. And you are fine, so quickly put the knife away. Hand knives are also knives, so rotten eggs are not eggs. Qin Yu was very upset with the attitude of the two and smiled coldly. Let it go, why do you let it go? If you say you let it go, I will let it go. As Konoha's hero, don't I lose face. Wo grew, said his Konoha hero again, and picked out the name again. Nima is still endless, do you have a hero like this? I am a hero every minute, how do you treat heroes like this? Qin Yu's hand deliberately shook, and his hand knife swiped towards Tuan Zhang's neck. Scarlet blood came out of Dan Zhang's neck. You. Danzo was startled, his cloudy eyes trembled. You guys get up and do my bird things. Why is it always me who is hurt? Yeah, Qin Yu squinted at Tuan Zhang with a clear consciousness. Do you have any questions? If you have any questions, let's have a good chat. Danzo was so frightened that he quickly lowered his head. Problem. Question your uncle, where can I dare to have a problem? He is not the same as Konoha's two consultants. Those two old guys have been there for so long, and they have nothing to do. I have a knife on my neck now, can I be like them? Reversed, really reversed. Turning to bed, Xiaochun pointed at Qin Yu and angrily said, Qin Yu, you are still doing it, can you really want to betray the village? Jiraiya also watched Qin Yu, Tuan Zhang, Mito Menyan, and Zhuan Xiaochun who came and pinched them, and they were very excited. It looks so hilarious, but it just doesn't intervene. As for the three generations of Naruto Sarutobi, it was also the old god sitting. He was thinking about a question, did he indulge in these old friends and comrades too much over the years? Among them, Danzo in particular, did too much. It happened to borrow Qin Yu's hand to teach him a lesson. Chapter 42. The root is scrapped. Advertisement. Repeatedly mentioned rebellion against the village. As the old saying goes, clay figurines have 3 points, let alone Qin Yu is still a living person. Suddenly looked at Konoha's two consultants arrogantly, and said, betrayal, betrayal, betrayal. Betrayed the village all day long. Even if I betrayed the village, what can you do with me? Everyone was taken aback when he said this. Ji Lai also twitched his face even more, he soothing, why did you connect it this time? Qin Yu, don't talk nonsense. 3 generations drew in a low voice. Okay, Sarutobi, look, this is the Naruto of your choice. Look at what he thinks, you dare to hand over the village to him like this. As the saying goes, if you don't do it, you won't die, and you will definitely die when you do it. These two veterans started to make them again. Enough, shut me up. Sarutobi slapped the table, his chest rising and falling. Everyone except Qin Yu was taken aback. Sarutobi Hizen was really out of anger. He suddenly felt that the two old comrades in front of him were so mindless. Qin Yu never had trouble in Konoha, and was always low-key. When there was a crisis in the village, he stood up and rescued the village in peril. Will such a person betray the village? Since there is no picture, he betrayed a fart village, this is almost impossible to think about. Besides, even if Qin Yu betrayed the village, in terms of his strength, what can you do? With his combat power, it is estimated that no one in the whole village can do anything to him. Frightened by Sarutobi's majesty of the 3 generations of Hokage, everyone shut up. But this does not include Qin Yu. At this time, Qin Yu suddenly said, Konoha is very good, and the people in the village are also very good. I like Konoha, and I also like the people in Konoha. Seeing Qin Yu suddenly say this, everyone's heart relaxed a little. But Yui felt a little uneasy when he came alone. From just now, this girl didn't look like a master who would bow his head. It looks weird now, so there won't be any other players. Jiraiya had just finished muttering in his heart, but Qin Yu's next sentence suddenly changed. But there will always be some high-ranking idiots in the village, and they always want to ruin it all. You. Turning to bed, Xiaochun pointed at Qin Yu angrily. He knew that Qin Yu was talking about them. She turned to sleep with a pain in her chest, turned her head and looked at Sarutobi Hisaki and said, look, this is the new generation of Hokage you have chosen. Look at what he looks like as Hokage. Sarutobi Hizen watched Kaharu turning to bed angrily, staring at him. Taking advantage of his voice, he said, even if Qin Yu doesn't look like Hokage, does Tuanzang have it? Tuanzang was stunned for a while, and it was me again. You pinch back to pinch, why do you hurt me every time? Originally, Dan Zhang quietly watched Qin Yu and the 2 consultants pinching there, very happy. Thinking that Qin Yu's position in Hokage had not settled, he was secretly happy. Who would have thought that it was me again, and labor and capital were so ups and downs? Old man. Danzo just wanted to say something, but he felt a chill on his neck. It turned out that Qin Yu was looking at him with a smile, while the hand knife in his hand moved along with it. Feeling another wound on his neck, Tuanzang was dumb for a while. Read more at hotmtlnovel.zi, say a fart. Advertisement. When Sarutobi Risen heard Danzang Nuo talking, he turned his head to him. Sarutobi Risen looked at the old comrades in the past, his eyes were full of complexity, and finally turned into disappointment. He took a breath and said solemnly, Danzo, you don't have to think about Hokage's position anymore. You don't have to think about this position in your life. Nani. Danzo saw that Sarutobi Risen suddenly became so determined, his face changed drastically. He had never thought that Sarutobi Hitoshi, who has always been kind and easy to talk, would be so decisive today. Regarding Danzo's decision, Mito Menyan and Zhuanshan Xiaochun also agree with them in their hearts. But I also feel that Sarutobi Hazaki doesn't need to say it so directly, it's really cruel. 3 generations looked at Tuanzang coldly, and said in a deep disappointed voice, because you are not worthy. Because I finally found out that you are really bad. You do everything to satisfy your selfishness. The roots have gradually changed from the original Konoha power to your personal power. Now the roots can no longer be considered Konoha's power. Danzo, you really disappointed me. Hearing the words of Sarutobi Risen, Danzang's expression changed again and again. Looking at Sarutobi's heavy face, Danzo quickly quibbled and said, no. The roots have always been Konoha's power, and I have always been for Konoha. The 3 generations of Naruto Sarutobi heard the words, and a sneer appeared on his face. Since you said that the root is Konoha's power, from now on, the root organization will be reduced to 2 teams. The ninjas who were abolished are all integrated into the Onbi directly under Naruto. Nani. Danzo was furious. You are too much. I am the master of the roots, why do you reduce my roots? Because I am Hokage, I am Konoha's highest command. Sarutobi Hizen changed his usual kindness and became very tough. What? Regardless of Qin Yu's thunderbolt knife on his neck, Tuan Zhang roared angrily. The root was created by myself, and it was how much effort I put into it. This is what it looks like today. If there is no position of Naruto, there will be no place, he still has roots, and he is still a high-ranking Konoha senior. Now that Sarutobi has been cut so much, what can Danzo do in the future? There are still 2 teams left, and what will the 2 teams do for me? Humiliate me or pity me? Or to say that I am dedicated to serving as a guard in his later years? A look of misery appeared on Tuan Zhang's face, and he smiled miserably at Sarutobi Risen. Monkey, for Qin Yu, do you have to do this to me? When Sarutobi Risen heard Danzo's monkey, he felt soft in his heart for no reason. But when he saw Qin Yu next to him, he pressed the tenderness in his heart. Shen Sheng said. Danzo, it seems that you still don't understand. Everything will become like this, and you have to blame you for it, because your heart has changed and it has become different from ours. Enough. Tuan Zhang roared grimly and said. You are enough. I don't care what you say about me, or even what you want to say, I can do it, but I can't do it at all. That's when you said that I'm indifferent to Konoha. I will never allow this. Qin Yu looked at Tuan Zhang, who had lost his mind, and shook his head. You damn thought you were doing it for Konoha, you can see what you have done all these years. One by one, that is not for your own sake. It's so sad. Qin Yu said lightly. However, Dan Zhang thought that Qin Yu was laughing at himself. Chapter 43, Verduan Zhang Arm. Advertisement. Boy, you don't have to laugh at me, everything I do. Yes, everything you do is for Konoha, I know. Before Dan Zhang finished speaking, he was interrupted by Qin Yu's taunting words. Tuan Zhang was so angry that he was almost ascended to the sky by Qin Yu. Seeing that since I entered the door today, I have been repeatedly frustrated in Qin Yu's hands. I don't believe it when I step on a horse, you dare to move me today. Do you dare? You come. Qin Yu was also taken aback when he was manipulated by Dan Zhang. Mad, I grew up so old, no one has ever made such a weird request. But I'm kind-hearted, Xiao Yi, I'll listen to you today. It's over, this kid is a fearless lord, otherwise he wouldn't do everything just now. Danzo still provokes him so much. As soon as Jiraiya thought of Qin Yu's nature, Qin Yu had already started. Qin Yu smiled and said, isn't it? I'll treat all kinds of dissatisfaction. In the shocked eyes of everyone, the silver thunder light flashed, and Danzang's bandaged arm was already on the ground. The hand knife turned into by the power of violent thunder and lightning, without a trace of blood. What? The severe pain struck, and Tuan Zhang's pained entire face was distorted. But no matter how painful it was difficult to conceal his incredible look. This is the Hokage office, so he dared to really do it here. At this moment, Danzo suddenly regretted it. Damn, what happened to me today? He had to provoke this evil star for Mao himself, and now he is all right, and he lost an arm. It doesn't matter if you lose one arm, it turns out that you lost your most important arm. Tuan Zhang panted ferociously, and clutched his broken arm tightly with his other hand. Rebelled, really rebelled. Qin Yu, you dare to attack in the Hokage office openly. Turning to bed, Xiaochun turned around, first condemning Qin Yu. After that, he hurriedly came to Danzang and treated him to hemostasis. Sarutobi, this is the person you chose. Look at what he is doing now, how is it different from a lunatic? Mito Menyon also roared. He didn't find it either, Qin Yu really dared to do it. This is too lawless. Before Sarutobi Risen spoke, Qin Yu did say with a sneer, if you two old things are still squeaky and crooked, believe it or not, I'll help you too. You, Mito Menyon and Zhuan Xiaochun were startled at once. This girl is an evil star, the bloody reality is just now. They have no doubt that if they continue speaking, this guy will just give it to himself. Sarutobi Risen frowned, and said in a deep voice, Qin Yu, you're a bit overwhelmed. Has it passed? Qin Yu asked himself rather puzzled. If Qin Yu is presumptuous, you dare to contradict Hokage, I think you really turned it back. Turning to bed, Xiaochun saw Sarutobi Risen all speaking, and suddenly felt that someone was supporting her, and she was energized again. Qin Yu looked at Xiaochun turning to bed, shook his head and said, to say you are an idiot, you really insulted the word idiot. You show me your dog's eyes wide and see what this is. Okay. Everyone was taken aback for a moment, what did Qin Yu's words mean? Is there anything hidden in this matter? But Danzo, who had been silent all the time, suddenly felt uneasy at this moment. Could it be that my secret has been discovered? Read more at hotmtlnovel.zi. No, this is impossible. Advertisement. Stab. Qin Yu flicked a thunderbolt needle and shot it at Tuan Zhang's broken arm on the ground. Tuan Zhang's expression changed drastically when he saw Qin Yu's behavior. Qin Yu, what do you want to do? Zhuan Xiaochun scolded angrily. Qin Yu shook his head, looked at him like a fool and said, stupid. You. Turning to bed, Xiaochun trembled all over. Ever since Qin Yu came in, he began to fight with them. Since just now, I have been scolded by Qin Yu, even if I count them. Shut up. Sarutobi Rizwan shouted loudly, suppressing all the voices. Use your brain to think about it for a moment. An ordinary arm, with the violent thunder and lightning, can't cause any harm to him. The sound of Sarutobi Hiji slashed Mito Menyon and Zhuan Shaochun for a moment. The two looked at each other and also found the problem. Everyone frowned and looked at Danzo on the side. With a sullen face, Tuan Zhang asked Qin Yu, "Little devil, how did you find out?" Qin Yu smiled secretly. "Can I tell you that I crossed over when I step on a horse? Have I seen all of these?" Qin Yu looked at Tuan Zhang indifferently, and said, "I was fortunate to have played against the first generation of Hokage. As for the other thing, I have it myself. How do you know that I know? You want to hide it from others, no problem, but you want to hide it from me, sorry, no way." Nani? Danzo was stunned. You were lucky enough to fight the original Hokage. What to do with this? Everyone was stunned by Qin Yu, but Sarutobi Ri was the only one who was not stunned. Because of that battle, he saw it with his own eyes. It's just that everyone is curious about what they are talking about. How about it? Did you untie the seal yourself, or did I violently demolish it yourself? Qin Yu was cheerful. Quote question mark question mark question mark quote. There are question marks on everyone's faces, except for stunned and stunned. Hehe, I have no idea what you are talking about. Tuan Zhengdian said, the remaining hand suddenly got a mudra. Qin Yu only felt that suddenly a strong pupil power invaded his brain, trying to modify his thinking. Seeing Qin Yu's eyes gradually lost, Tuan Zhang's mouth lifted slightly. But soon, he froze directly. Because he saw Qin Yu's eyes, he actually recovered his Qingming. Oh, what a powerful pupil technique. But do you think that with your three-legged cat's pupil technique, it can work on me? Nani? How can you? Danzo is really panicked now, a batch of panic. His strongest trump card was useless to Qin Yu. Seeing the two of them just now, Sarutobi's son cut his eyes and asked, Qin Yu, what happened just now? Watch it for yourself. Qin Yu smiled coldly, and the thunder knife in his hand slashed towards Tuan Zhang's head. No, Sarutobi Hizen wanted to organize, but it was too late. Dan Zhang was so scared by Qin Yu's thunder knife that he couldn't escape even if he wanted to escape. Stab. Qin Yu's thunder knife slashed in front of Tuan Zhang. There was no blood, no harm. Qin Yu just used the thunder knife to uncover the mask of Tuan Zhang that covered his eyes. Call. Everyone's heart paused for time. But when everyone looked at Danzo, their expressions changed drastically at the same time. Chapter 44. Izanagi. Advertisement. I saw Danzo's eyes wrapped under the mask, all scarlet. In those scarlet eyes, a pitch-black four-cornered windmill flashed away. This is. The two consultants looked at Danzang's eyes, and their fingers trembled a little. Sarutobi Hizen said with a gloomy expression, Uchiha Shisui's kaleidoscope writes round eyes. It turns out that you have transplanted that kid's writing wheel into your own eyes. The two Konoha consultants were incredulous. Danzo said nonchalantly, everyone is dead. Instead of letting this writing ring silent, it is better to let the old man keep him glowing, so that it can play its value. Oh, Qin Yu said with a sneer, it turns out that his luminous heat is for you to control me. Originally, Danzo's abacus was clinking. With the kaleidoscope ability of Zishui, ordinary shadow-level powerhouses can be controlled. What's more, Qin Yu is such a little devil. Who would have thought that this kid is an evildoer? His last hand would actually miscalculate in his hands. What, Danzo, you unexpectedly. Sarutobi Risen was shocked. He never expected that Danzo would have done such a thing just now. At this moment, a strange wave came. Danzo's body suddenly became illusory, and then it became solid again. Immediately afterwards, his writing wheel eyes began to lose their brilliance, until finally turned gray. This is. Sarutobi Risen thought for a while, and then thought of what the situation was. This is the forbidden technique Izanagi, you still use this forbidden technique. Huh, what a nasty kid. When Qin Yu slashed at him with a thunder knife, he thought that Qin Yu wanted to kill him. In order to save his life, he decisively used Izanagi. The ghost knew that Qin Yu was just to pick his mask. In the end, it directly evolved into such a naked display. Such a precious eye, how could you be like this? Sarutobi Risen couldn't help it anymore, and directly cursed. Isn't it just an eye? Danzo dismissed it. Qin Yu smiled coldly and said, of course, not just one eye. Our master Tuanzang has a lot of inventory. Nani? Surufei Rijin instantly raised his head and stared at Qin Yu. Even Mito Menyon, Zhuan Shaochun, and Zilai were all staring at Qin Yu. Seeing everyone's suspicious eyes, Qin Yu didn't worry. With a Chidori sharp spear ninjutsu with his right hand, he stabbed at Danzo's broken arm on the ground. P******K, there was a thunder, and a bright blue light burst. The seal on the broken arm was directly forcibly broken by Qin Yu's thunder ninjutsu. Danzo's face suddenly turned pale. Laugh. I was accustomed to seeing everyone who was accustomed to big winds and waves, but was also shocked by the scene in front of me. On the broken arm, all the densely packed Urshilanyan. This is. Sarutobi Hizen's whole person who was already angry was almost speechless. Shaking fingers touched the broken arm on the ground and looked at Danzo. Danzo's behavior is a blasphemy against the dead. This kind of behavior is spurned and is not allowed to happen. There is even more irritating. Qin Yu said lightly. Read more at hotmtl novel.zi. Everyone was taken aback again. This was not irritating yet. Advertisement. There is more irritating. What will it be? Qin Yu's Qiandiao sharp spear reappeared and swiped it at the broken arm. Everyone didn't know, so they didn't know what Qin Yu was going to do. But in the next moment, everyone's face changed again. Become shocked, and finally all turned into rage. Because everyone clearly saw that Qin Yu's severed arm was healing on its own. And it is healing on its own at a speed visible to the naked eye. This is. Zhuan Xiaochun and Mito Menyan felt chills in their hearts. Danzo. The 3 generations of Naruto Sarutobi Risen finally couldn't sit still now, and suddenly roared. The roar shocked the 2 Konoha consultants. I saw Sarutobi Risen angrily roared and said, I won't talk about writing round eyes for the time being, but this is Mu done. You dare to desecrate the body of the original Hokage-sama. The sound of Sarutobi Rizwan was like thunder, and the 2 consultants beside Gen also trembled. Sarutobi Rishi's eyes were not bad, and when he saw the regeneration ability of the broken arm, he could already see the trickiness on the broken arm. With such a heavenly vitality, besides the cells of Konoha's first generation Naruto Senjutsu, who else has it? Nani? Sarutobi, you mean there are cells from the first generation of Naruto on this arm? Mito Menyan and Zhuan Xiaochun were already completely stunned. Then, the fire of rage ignited in the hearts of the 2. The 3 of them now are really angry, and they are really hostile to Tuanzang. Qin Yu looked at the 3 people in front of him, and knew that he was right. If it was only to blaspheme Uchiha's body, or the 3 of them would denounce it in the face, they would expose it. But if you know that in addition to blaspheming Uchiha, he also blasphemed the first Naruto of the ninja world, that would be different. In the first generation of Naruto Senjuzuma, in the ninja world, he was revered as the god of the ninja world. In Konoha, it also exists as Konoha's belief. Even these old guys here, as the disciples of the second generation of Naruto, are full of admiration for the first generation of Naruto. The exposure of Danzo's current actions has already touched everyone's bottom line. Danzo, I really didn't expect that I really recognized you today. Sarutobi Hisaki's voice was low, and his tone was full of disappointment. Qin Yu glanced at the crowd, fearing that the current fire wasn't burning enough, so he deliberately added another fire. The position of the original Naruto Senjutsu in Konoha, needless to say, must be clear to everyone. Once today's events spread, I don't know what kind of sensation will be caused by then. Everyone stared, not knowing what to say. If the story of Uchiha's writing round eyes is spread out again, I don't know what Konoha's other blood successors will think. I don't know if Konoha will withstand the oppression of these 2 things at that time. Laugh. A series of sounds sounded, and everyone gasped. Qin Yu's remarks weren't just casually speaking, but they were really frightening to contemplate. Although Uchiha was destroyed, he did such a thing to them after their death. Don't talk about anything else, just let other families know what they will think. Do they feel that they will end up just like Uchiha? When the time comes, will they still have the same heart with Konoha? When the time comes, will they continue to support Konoha? When I think of this, everyone's eyes are cold, it is cold eyes. Chapter 45. Verdict. Life imprisonment. Advertisement. Danzo looked at the 3 old comrades in front of him, old friends, and old partners. Looking at their angry eyes, they sat down directly on the ground. He knew that he was over. At this moment, Danzo thought a lot. How can this world change so fast? Just now, he was still a high-ranking Konoha senior, the root leader. But since he came to Hokage's office, he has gradually fallen from the supreme altar. In the end, there was nothing and even a catastrophe in old age. For the intercolumn cells, how much I paid to get it. In order to write round eyes, I have endured so much pain. As a result, it was useless before Qin Yu cut it off. What's even more ridiculous is that before his own writing wheel had a powerful eye, he was squandered by using Izanagi. Thinking of this, Danzo's heart screamed, who did I provoke when I stepped on a horse? If Qin Yu had mind-reading skills, he would definitely reply to him. I don't care who you provoke, anyway, don't recruit me, or the young master will definitely want you to look good. Qin Yu's character is like this. As long as you don't take the initiative to find him uncomfortable, he will not find you uncomfortable. But once you find him uncomfortable, I'm sorry, the Lord still can't kill you. There was silence, after a long time. Well, it's time to discuss about how to Danzang. Sarutobi Rizhin spoke first. Mito Menyan and Zhuan Xiaochun looked at each other, and then they began to think about it. Of course, they are not thinking about how to deal with Danzo, but about their respective interest. Qin Yu seemed to see what they were thinking in their hearts. The thunder and lightning in his hand lit up again, and he waved the thunder knife in front of Danzo. Mito Menyan and Zhuan Xiaochun were startled at once. Don't do it. When things developed to this point, they were really afraid of Qin Yu in their hearts. Not only as powerful, but also as courageous. Not only that, but also very wise, able to easily see through everything. The appearance of Danzo nowadays was not created by the person in front of him. As long as everyone in the room knew that Tuanzang would end up like this, it was all for Qin Yu's death. Now, Xiaochun has no doubt that Qin Yu will give Tuanzang a hit. In order to save Danzang's life, Xiaochun turned to bed and had to confess Danzang's character quickly. I personally think that although Danzo has made a big mistake, he can save him from death if he reads the credits he has done in the past. Recover the power in his hands and revoke all his duties. After speaking, Xiaochun turned to Qin Yu. Finding that he was still waving the thunder knife in his hand for himself, he instantly understood when he was so mature. In desperation, he gritted his teeth and said, and imprison Danzo for life. When he said this, even Mito Menyon next to him was shocked. Even Sarutobi Rishi and Jiraiya were shocked, and apparently didn't expect Xuan Xiaochun to achieve this level. However, this result is a good result. Sarutobi nodded, obviously agreeing. Seeing Qin Yu still wielding a thunder knife, Sarufei Rijin asked helplessly, Qin Yu, what do you think? Read more at hotmtlnovel.zi. Qin Yu smiled and said, several adults have said so, what can I do? Advertisement. I'm not the kind of person who insists on life, I'm still very friendly. Yeah, you are quite friendly. Mito Menyon and Xuan Sleeping Xiaochun bite the bullet and laughed. Mad, this B*********** D is really shameless. It's kind, and you're still unarmed, kind of your uncle. As for Danzo, when he heard the verdict that belonged to him, the whole person was completely paralyzed on the ground. Danzo smiled miserably and said, instead of this, let me die. But well, capital crimes can be avoided, living crimes cannot escape. Qin Yu said again. Stabbed. There was a thunderous sound, and Qin Yu took off a leg by Qin Yu. What? Danzo screamed. Qin Yu dispersed the thunder knife in his hand, looked at Danzang and said, this is the price you just paid for trying to control me. Seeing the thunder knife in Qin Yu's hand dispersed, Mito Menyon and Xuan Xiaochun breathed a sigh of relief. As long as you can save your life, what's the matter if you break a leg? Sarutobi Hizen looked at Danzo in a complicated manner, and said, come here. Take Danzo down and take care of it. Two Onbi ninjas hiding in the dark suddenly appeared, dragging Danzo down. Kill me, you kill me. Dan Zhang started howling, almost crazy. This old guy has been calculating all his life, calculating for the position of Hokage. Now he has lost his rights and strength. This direct killing of him also made it difficult for him to accept. A life plan will eventually come to nothing. Looking at Danzo has been towed away, Sarutobi Day cut side and said. Well, the trouble each person is gone, we continue to discuss the new term next Naruto it. Okay, Mito Menyon and Xuan Xiaochun froze first, then frowned. Obviously, after Qin used so much noise just now, everyone labeled him unprovoked. If this guy sat in the position of Hokage, then. When I think of what will happen in the future, my heart panics just by imagining. Why are you still discussing? Just be a lecherous fairy. Qin Yu directly happily pushed Zilai up. Reason. What is your reason? Sarutobi Rijin was very curious, why Qin Yu recommended Jiraiya. It needs to be said that if this old pervert doesn't lock him in Hokage's position, he will definitely not stay in the village. He must go out all day long. I am also thinking about Konoha. Qin Yu's pan is really beautiful. Even the 3 generations of Naruto Ape Fury Slash were stunned by what Qin Yu said. Jiraiya also saw his teacher Sarutobi Hitazan, looking at him, and suddenly realized the crisis. The corner of his mouth twitched, and he hurriedly protested. You don't want to be Hokage if you don't want to be, why pull me down? But Qin Yu didn't pay attention to Jiraiya, instead he continued to speak for himself. If you let yourself go out and mess around, you will not only prevent the village from losing a combat power, but also for the sake of your reputation, old man. Okay. Sarutobi Hizen was puzzled for a while, how did he get involved with me? Even the 2 Konoha consultants on the side were confused. Qin Yu looked like you didn't know, and said, you didn't know, I thought you knew it. Chapter 46. Ninja pornography, gambling, drugs. Advertisement. Seeing everyone's inexplicable appearance, Qin Yu continued with a smile. Old man, although the 3 disciples you accepted, although all of them are strong, they have also achieved the reputation of Sanin, but. When Qin Yu said this, he deliberately panted. But what? Everyone looked at him with scorching eyes. Qin Yu gasped with words, which really made the obedient people itch. However, the rumor that Sanin in the ninja world has a collective nickname. That nickname is the Ninja Huang Gambling Drug Trio. Suddenly, it was like thunder blasted in Sarutobi's heart. What's all this and what? I guess I should have seen this P***N, Jiraiya standing beside him. This bet should refer to Tsunade, he is indeed betting every day. As for this poison, it should refer to Dashawan. When I think of this, it is really yellow gambling poison. Sarutobi Rijin had just finished his estimation, but the 2 consultants on the side were holding back a smile. Obviously these 2 people had already thought of it when Qin Yu said it. As for Jiraiya, he twitched his mouth, the first name of labor and capital. At this moment, Sarutobi Hazaki reacted. He patted the table for a while and said, FK. The old man's reputation, that's it. None of these 3 apprentices is a worry-free thing. The corner of Jiraiya's mouth twitched again, and he said stiffly, old man, you too, and you believe what Qin Yu said. Although his mouth was stiff, Jiraiya was still muttering to himself, is the shinobi world really so popular? Qin Yu looked at everyone present with a smile, and ignored it. Sarutobi Rijin also had a headache looking at this Jiraiya and Qin Yu. Who are these 2 people? When Hokage can shirk each other's excuses, what is this all about? Could it be that the current world has changed and become different? You must know that when you were Hokage before, you can't let it be. Even because he couldn't be a Hokage, he tried every means to become a member. You can see it when you look at Danzo. Now it's okay, these two goods are still being pushed around, just treating Hokage as a hot potato. At the thought of this, Sarutobi Risen suddenly became angry. Bang! With a loud noise, Sarutobi Hisaki's remaining palms patted directly on the desk. I don't care about it, the two of you decide who to be Hokage, or recommend a reliable one. After Sarutobi finished speaking, he took his big pipe and stood by the window. Obviously he was also angry with these two goods. Mito Menyon and Zhuan Shaochun's faces became stiff, and then they convulsed one after another. Maid, this is Konoha, who is from the Ninja World village, chooses Hokage, how can he become so casual? But even if the two were upset and dissatisfied, now they didn't even dare to let go. Anyway, it's up to you to come and go, and we'll just be the people who eat melons. Qin Yu and Zilai were also directly stupefied by Saru Fury Slash. This old man was obviously playing a rogue. Come on. Qin Yu was unwilling to show weakness. Fart, I still have a lot of things to do, where there is a job to do Hokage, you come. Fart, a lot of things you say are not just peeping, but also a lot of things, shameless. Fart, you know a hammer. Anyway, Hokage won't kill labor and capital in this position. Oh, then you can do it without killing you. FK, you are thinking about fart. Read more at hotmtlnovel.zi, the two of you said something to me, and the entire Hokage office suddenly became a vegetable market. Advertisement. Mito Menyon and Zhuan Shaochun's foreheads are all black lines, these two are really superb. At this moment, the two stopped at the same time. I recommend Tsunade. The voices of Qin Yu and Zilai suddenly rang in unison. Qin Yu looked at Zilai with contempt for a while. In order not to be Hokage, you are really sluggish. Faced with Qin Yu's contempt, Zilai also responded with eyes, each other. With a sound of, yeah, Sarutobi's sun suddenly lit up. Qin Yu and Zilai are both restless by nature, and they are not the masters of peace. Compared with Tsunade, they are indeed not the best candidates for Hokage. In addition, if we can take this opportunity to call Tsunade back to the village will be stronger than ever. Well, now that there is a candidate, there is nothing wrong with me. Qin Yu slapped the dust that never existed on the stalk, and said, I'll leave first. As soon as Fei Lei Shen used it, people disappeared. Then the matter of finding someone, I'll leave it to you. Sarutobi Hizen shook his head and patted Jiraiya on the shoulder. FK Slot, this is a real hammer. Jiraiya was just about to oppose, but the people of Sarutobi Hazaki were gone. FK Slot, both of these bully me. Ji-Lai also yelled indignantly without tears. He is still your master after all. Menyon Mito patted Ji-Lai on the shoulder, and then left with Zhuan Shu Shaochun. Only Jiraiya was left, standing in a mess in Hokage's office. After that, Jiraiya left and walked towards Naruto's house. I can only retrieve the damage I suffered today from Naruto. As for Qin Yu, sorry, he has already returned home. Now he is continuing his great career of flying airplanes. After that, I went to see how Gaara was going, and by the way became Gaara's eldest brother in a real sense. Then Gaara and Kankura went back to Sand Ninja Village. As for Tamari, they naturally joined Qin Yu's airplane family. Naruto, what are you doing? Looking at Naruto who was practicing spiritism under the tree, Qin Yu pretended to be dumb and asked. It's Qin Yu. I'm practicing spiritism, this is a very difficult technique. Naruto sighed from the heart. Yes, this is a very difficult ninjutsu. Jiraiya also rushed out from the side. What the hell? Difficulty. Qin Yu drew his ears and asked again. It's difficult, I think it's a lecherous fairy who won't really teach you. Qin Yu turned away from Zilai, his eyes were full of excitement. Qin Yu was also annoyed by Qin Yu, did this guy speak human words? No, should I say that this guy can speak human words? Suddenly, Jiraiya also thought of a way. Since you think I didn't teach Naruto, then I will teach you the same way to see what level you are. I have never seen Qin Yu's real skill. The only time it was with Konoha's psychic beast, Qin Yu's trick Big Jade Helix Pill. There seems to be nothing else. As for the one-tailed battle, they just wrote round eyes, not revealing their strength. Okay, my little master, I'm only dealing with all kinds of dissatisfaction. Seeing that Zilai also took the bait, Qin Yu felt a burst of joy. Chapter 47. Guards Against the Sky and Psychic. Advertisement. Don't think I don't know what your kid's idea is. Jiraiya was not stupid either, he also had his own calculations in his heart. It's okay to ask me to teach you spiritism, but you need to make a bet. Qin Yu smiled at the smile of Jiraiya also. Mad, this guy is not a good thing either. The monkeys are just like the old man of the third generation. What bet? But in order to achieve one's own goals, that's fine. Xiaoyi, I will endure, forbearance can become even better for a while. Jiraiya also smiled and said, if you can't channel a 2-meter-tall psychic beast for the first time in spiritism, then you will worship me as a teacher. If you have a 2-meter-high psychic beast, I will teach you a powerful secret technique after you become successful in psychic skills. Jiraiya also shook his eyebrows, obviously he felt like he was holding it tightly. In this regard, Jiraiya is also quite confident. What? There is a stronger secret technique, you haven't told me the lascivious fairy. Naruto resisted began to discuss. Jiraiya also glanced at him, then ignored him. Oh. Qin Yu thought for a while on the surface, but smiled in his heart. Isn't this what I want? This Jia is also too cooperating with me. Really, how do you say that damn thing, since you are my money-sending boy? Although he was happy in his heart, Qin Yu still looked disdainful on the surface. Cut. I'm afraid of you, come here. I will show you what a genius is, and what a stupid talent is. Naruto's face went dark when he heard the words. He understood this. Qin Yu was talking about him in a disguised form. It is good. Jiraiya happily took out the psychic scroll and laid it out on the ground. Qin Yu didn't need to teach much, he didn't know how many times he had watched it before. Plus how many times Naruto has used it just now, I don't know where else. Qin Yu bit his finger, and then wrote his name on the scroll, and finally put his handprint on it. Jiraiya also watched Qin Yu finish writing, and said, Jayan, Haishuyu Shenmo. After that, he immediately asked. Before the seal, condense your largest amount of chakras, otherwise your psychic beast can only psychically produce tadpoles. Qin Yu ticked the corner of his mouth and said in secret, HMPH, let me give you a grand slam. Chakra rolled frantically in Qin Yu's body, and they were mobilized by Qin Yu one after another. Seeing Qin Yu mobilizing chakra, Zilai also secretly speculated in his heart. What will be summoned? Wen Tai? Probably not, he should not have that great strength to summon Wen Tai. Feeling that the winning ticket should be in hand, Jiraiya suddenly said to Qin Yu, this is your first time summoning a psychic beast, so don't be stressed. As long as you can summon a 1-meter-high psychic beast, then you are already a genius. Qin Yu curled his lips, 1 meter high, which was also an outlet. I will let you open your eyes, Xiao Yi, let you know what a genius is and what a real genius is. At this moment, Qin Yu had completed the gathering of chakra. This time, Qin Yu has gathered nearly 2/3 of chakra in his body. You know, the total amount of chakra in Qin Yu's body is enough to crush the shadow rank powerhouse. Therefore, now the 2/3 of the chakra is already quite large. Qin Yu felt that with this huge chakra, he would definitely be able to channel something different. Read more at hotmtlnovel.zi hmph, a 1-meter-high psychic beast, you are insulting me, you will have a big one if you come. Advertisement. Qin Yu began to form his handprint slowly. And along with Qin Yu's slow Jayan, both Zilai and Naruto's eyes focused on Qin Yu's body. After the handprint was completed, Qin Yu patted the ground with one hand and said word by word, psychic art. As Qin Yu's voice fell, a large rune began to spread around his palm. Bang! Suddenly there was an explosion, and white smoke filled. Naruto and Zilai are also staring at the white smoke, they want to know what Qin Yu can psychic. The white smoke slowly dissipated, and a miniature green frog appeared in front of everyone. Naruto fixed his eyes and laughed. What? Just a little frog, nothing great. Hearing the words, Zilai burst into joy. It seems that I won the bet. However, when Zilai also looked at the so-called little frog, the whole person was almost frightened. As for the Naruto next to him, he was smiling slyly there. There is no vision at all. The little green frog looked at the 3 people in front of him who were like living treasures, and yelled impatiently, Little Jiraiya, you suddenly summoned me to come over, what is it? Naruto, who was being silly, was startled when he heard the frog talking. FK, the frog has spoken. Upon hearing this, the green frog suddenly showed an angry cross on his forehead. With a kick of his legs, he came to the top of Naruto's head. Waving his frog's palm, there was a series of crit attacks on Naruto's head. While clashing, he said, Smelly boy, I am a toad. Toad. Naruto was critically hit by the little frog, and he yelled in pain. As for Jiraiya, she is trembling now. Jiraiya followed the little frog with a bit of a stringent voice and said, Shenzuo Shanran, you are here. Jiraiya is now completely dazed. How could he be summoned to the psychic for the first time? You know, how big a chakra is needed to summon him out. Can Qin Yu be able to gather such a huge chakra in just a few minutes? The fairy, isn't it just a frog, or a fairy? Naruto was dissatisfied and said even more unbelievable. However, in exchange, he was once again crit. Another bag was added to the head. Let's talk about it, why did you suddenly find me out? Shenzuo Shanran looked at Jiraiya, and saw his a little embarrassed expression, which made him even more puzzled. That, Shenzuo Shanran, I didn't actually call you here. Oh, that can't be the kid over there. Immortal Shenzuo looked at Qin Yu behind Jiraiya, feeling unbelievable. He didn't quite believe that Qin Yu's age could summon himself to the psychic. At this time, Zilai also nodded firmly. Yes, he summoned you psychically. What? It's really not you. Shenzuo Shanran was really shocked. It's really not me. Jiraiya confirmed again firmly. After that, this person, an immortal, stared at Qin Yu closely, and the eyes of both of them were filled with incredible expressions. Chapter 48. Fairy Mode. Advertisement. Okay. Interrupt the 2 lascivious immortals, listening to you just now, I should meet the requirements, and I am done. Is it time to honor the promise? Quickly hand over the secret technique to the master. Seeing Qin Yu's bandit voice, Jiraiya was suffocated. When I said it at the time, it was not just to get this kid hooked. Who would have thought that this kid is such a demon, but now he is really stealing the rice. Secret technique. What secretary? Suzuo Immortal was puzzled when he heard the word secret technique. Then he seemed to think of something, staring at Jiraiya and said, "You didn't mean." Jiraiya also nodded bitterly in response to this. Later, in order to fulfill his promise, Jiraiya also pulled Suzuo Xianren aside. The two had a chattering discussion, and from time to time they could directly quarrel. In the end, in order to get the gods to agree with the immortal, Jiraiya also said, "I suspect that he is the prophetic son of the big toad immortal." Hearing what Jiraiya said, Suzuo Xianren didn't say anything. Immortal Suzuo looked at Qin Yu, then at Jiraiya, lost in thought. After a long time, he agreed to Jiraiya's decision. "Hey, your kid is called Qin Yu, right? Since Jiraiya always said the same, I will make an exception to take you to Miaomu Mountain to practice immortality. I will return to Miaomu Mountain in a while, and then I will reverse the psychic technique and bring you back to Miaomu Mountain." Hearing Suzuo Xianren talking about Xianshu, Naruto suddenly yelled. "I also want to learn celestial arts. I also want to learn celestial arts." With a bang, Jiraiya also came on Naruto's head. Another big bag came up. Laughter Fairy, what are you doing? Qin Yu looked at Jiraiya angrily. Wow, when will you be able to psychic Suzuo Xianren? You will be qualified to learn Shanshu. Just after speaking, Suzuo Xianren made a bang and disappeared into a cloud of smoke. Immediately afterwards, Qin Yu also banged and disappeared. After a while, Qin Yu came to Miaomu Mountain, the kingdom of Toad. As soon as he arrived at Miaomu Mountain, Qin Yu felt a sense of peace. It was peace from the heart, which calmed his heart. At this moment, Immortal Suzuo began to take Qin Yu to visit Miaomu Mountain, and introduced it while visiting. After a while, it's time for dinner. Immortal Suzuo pulled Qin Yu and asked him to eat at home. But Qin Yu, who had read the original book, knew that he didn't dare to eat this meal. This group is all toads, what else can the food of toads be? Under Qin Yu's strong refusal, he was still dragged onto the dinner table. Immortal Ji-Ma brought plates of colorful insect dishes and put them on the table. Try it, the child's damn craftsmanship is very good. Suzuo Xianren touted his own old woman. Qin Yu looked at the colorful insects on the table, his scalp numb. Qin Yu raised his chopsticks, ups and downs 3 times, stupefied that he didn't have the strength to pick up the worm. Finally, put down the chopsticks directly. Seeing Immortal Zima's eyes suddenly turned ugly, Qin Yu suddenly said seriously. "Two immortals, it's my first time to visit Miaomu Mountain. After that, I have to take care of them. Today I decided to cook some delicious food for both of you." When Qin Yu said this, the two of them were stunned for a while. Before the two of them refused, Qin Yu already took out several scrolls from the forbearance bag and opened them. Bang bang bang. Read more at hotmtlnovel.zi. Suddenly, white smoke was everywhere, and a bunch of things were channeled out of the scroll. Advertisement. Various kitchen condiments, as well as a lot of game parallel products. This was the last time I was camping with a few girls, and I didn't finish it. Qin Yu took advantage of the situation and placed it in the psychic scroll for storage. To say that this psychic scroll is also a good breaking, the preservation technology is even slippery than the refrigerator. Ding ding dang was tumbling, and Qin Yu started his food making. However, the ghost knew that these toads had such a big appetite, and they immediately solved Qin Yu's small inventory. Qin Yu's face was green. Facing the upcoming food crisis, Qin Yu hurriedly asked Suzuo Xianren to teach immortality as soon as he finished eating. Suzuo Xianren looked at Qin Yu with admiration and burped. Then he led Qin Yu to a small square full of stone statues. Looking at these stone statues, Qin Yu knew that they were the ones who had failed in the immortal mode. Beside this statue, there is a small waterfall, which is toad oil. Used to accelerate the practitioner's perception of natural energy. It's just that this toad is yellow and greasy, and Qin Yu's scalp is tingling again. After that, Suzuo Xianren began to introduce Qin Yu seriously, as well as natural energy. Finally, it showed Qin Yu the power of so-called natural energy. Although I have watched it before, but it is no more enjoyable than what he looks at the scene now. After everything was introduced, Suzuo Xianren asked Qin Yu to apply toad oil and began to feel the natural energy. But looking at the yellow feces yellow frog oil, Qin Yu didn't dare to start again. In the end, Suzuo Xianren couldn't stand it, and directly pressed Qin Yu down. Qin Yu couldn't take care of the others as soon as the toad oil stuck his hands. Because at that moment, a violent force wandered around in his body. That is natural energy. FK. Qin Yu exclaimed, apparently stunned by the sudden energy. This power in your body is natural energy, you hurry up and control him. Suzuo Xianren saw Qin Yu's condition and reminded him. After that, he grabbed a huge black stick and waited for it. This black stick is unique to help cultivating the fairy mode. Without this black stick, the statue here is estimated to have doubled several times. Listening to the guidance of the gods and immortals, Qin Yu started to control the power in his body with great effort. When Qin Yu was ready for a long-term battle, he suddenly found out. After this natural energy entered Qin Yu's body, he was a little uncomfortable at first, and then it directly matched with chakra. The two energies are just like family, coexisting peacefully. What's the matter? How hard I thought. That's it. Qin Yu suddenly became a little embarrassed. After a while, a touch of golden eye shadow appeared on Qin Yu's eyes. The Shen Zuo immortal was completely stunned. This is the initial manifestation of the perfect fairy model. I have taught the fairy model for more than 100 years, and I have never seen such a genius. Don't talk about anything else, just talk about Jiraiya, and that would have to be learned after more than 200 sticks. As for Qin Yu, he was able to enter the fairy mode on his first attempt. Is he a natural celestial aptitude? Immortal Shen Zuo began to doubt himself, and at the same time he was even more emotional about Qin Yu's enchanting genius. Chapter 49. End of practice. Advertisement. In fact, Qin Yu was able to enter the fairy mode so easily and so quickly, mainly because of his physique. His physique is an immortal human body, that is the physique of an immortal. If the physique of an immortal can't easily use the immortal mode, then who else can easily use it? You must know that the god of the ninja world, Shinshozuma, is also a fairy body. How strong his strength is, how strong his incarnation fairy mode is, needless to say, this is obvious to all. After waiting for a while, Qin Yu opened his eyes. Then he stood up from the ground. Qin Yu felt the immense power in his body, and he was a little eager to try it for a while. Qin Yu came to the toad statue beside him, and his hands directly held the bottom of a statue. Get up. Qin Yu let out a low drink, and the fairy technique chakra in his body ran wildly, his hands exploded with great power. With a statue in one hand, Qin Yu lifted it up easily. It's worthy of the fairy model, it's awesome. Qin Yu couldn't help but sigh. After that, he put the two toad statues in his hands back on the ground. When it was released, the ground trembled, and it was obvious that the two stone statues weighed heavily. Immortal Shen Zuo looked at Qin Yu, and he was very surprised that he could use the immortal mode so easily. At the same time, he was shocked that Qin Yu could succeed and achieve perfection the first time he played the fairy mode. Shen Zuo Shanren, this first stage of practice, is this the end? Seeing Qin Yu asked, Immortal Shen Zuo recovered from the shock. Not, it's over. Shen Zuo Shanren stuttered a little. Then let's continue the second stage of practice. Oh, good. Immortal Shen Zuo took a breath and looked at Qin Yu with glowing eyes. This kid is not only a gifted person, but also so hardworking. He is really a good boy. Compared with Qin Yu, Ziyi was really stupid, and he was lazy. The second stage of practice is on the edge of a cliff. The method of this exercise is to let Qin Yu no longer use toad oil, but to directly feel the natural energy. And he can only rely on himself to introduce the natural energy between heaven and earth into his body. Then let the natural energy from the outside into the body form a ratio of 1 with the chakra and mental power in the body. This is the so-called golden triangle average ratio. Qin Yu sat on the edge of the cliff, closing his eyes and carefully comprehending the natural energy. As for Immortal Shen Zuo, he held a black stick that was bigger and thicker than before, and was standing by Qin Yu's side. As long as the energy in Qin Yu's body loses control and starts to turn into a toad, he can swing the stick at a good speed. After all, the current stage is the most dangerous stage, and it is also the most difficult stage. As time passed slowly, Qin Yu did not experience any abnormalities. Not even any painful manifestations have ever appeared. Seeing that Qin Yu hadn't moved for a long time, Immortal Shen Zuo couldn't help being a little confused. Don't you feel the natural energy? Impossible. He was already able to enter the fairy mode just now, it is impossible not to feel the natural energy. So what is going on in this situation now? The puzzling Shen Zuo fairy began to surround Qin Yu. As he walked around, he was thinking about what is going on with Qin Yu now. Read more at hotmtlnovel.zi. In this way, after waiting for 5 minutes, Qin Yu changed a little. Advertisement. That is, the previous eyeshadow appeared on his eyes again. Not only that, but some totem patterns appeared on his face this time. After. There is no after. With a sound of chong dang, the black stick in Shen Zuo's hand fell to the ground inexplicably. FK. Damn it. Immortal Shen Zuo stared at Qin Yu motionlessly, and finally rubbed his eyes vigorously, fearing if he had seen it wrong. The more I look at Shen Zuo Shanren, the more shocked Qin Yu's enchanting evildoer. Is this kid really the aptitude of a fairy, the son of prophecy? Shen Zuo Shanren wanted to be different, so he could only figure it out forcibly. Yes, it must be like this, otherwise it can't fully explain the current situation. Immortal Shen Zuo couldn't help but think like this, it was indeed Qin Yu who had acted too enchantingly. The perception of natural energy would be 10 times more difficult without the aid of toad oil. After this tenfold difficulty, Qin Yu could still do this, how could this not shock Immortal Shen Zuo? Qin Yu opened his eyes and felt the huge Shanshu chakra inside his body, very satisfied. This is it. As Qin Yu spoke, he used a water escape formation and mirror to take a picture of himself. Looking at the totem patterns on his face, Qin Yu's face went dark. No, it doesn't work like this, we still need to keep working hard. You are already in the perfect fairy mode like this, so how can you not do it like this? Immortal Shen Zuo, who didn't know why, thought that the state he was standing in was the initial state, so he reminded him. But Qin Yu still shook his head, and sat down again to practice. Immortal Shen Zuo looked at Qin Yu and nodded with satisfaction. Sure enough, he is the son of prophecy. It's just different. It's hard work, nothing to say. Immortal Shen Zuo was also very happy to see Qin Yu so diligent. But he knew that Qin Yu felt that it was impossible because the totem pattern on his face was too ugly. If he knew Qin Yu's thoughts, his expression would have changed. In this way, Qin Yu practiced for another 3 days. Finally, before the food ran out, he succeeded in reducing all the totem patterns on his face. Even the eyeshadow on the eyes is gone. The only thing that has changed is that there is an extra horizontal bar in the pupil. This is in line with my handsome appearance. Qin Yu looked in the mirror again, looking at the immortal pattern without a trace. After completing the connection with the fairy mode, Zuo Shanren originally wanted to enter into the fairy fusion mode with Qin Yu. But Qin Yu also quit. He hurriedly said that the gas in his house was on fire and ran away for a bad reason. The immortal fusion model means that both Shenzuo Immortal and Zima Immortal fuse on Qin Yu's shoulders to assist in combat. Qin Yu couldn't accept such an ugly appearance. After strenuous efforts, Qin Yu released the reversal psychic technique and returned to Konoha. After returning to Konoha, Qin Yu was truly relieved. And this time, only 5 days have passed. As soon as Qin Yu came back, he went home directly. As soon as I got home, I saw Shi Raihong wearing an apron and wearing a piece of household clothes, cooking in the kitchen. By her side, Hinata, Huahuo, Ino, Akoris, Tamari, and Fragrant Phosphorus were talking and laughing to help the kitchen. Chapter 50. Family. Advertisement. Seeing this scene, Qin Yu's heart was very calm, not knowing why. A feeling called warmth began to spread in Qin Yu's body. Qin Yu stood at the door with a quiet smile before everyone noticed it. Ah, Qin Yu, you are back. Ino suddenly saw Qin Yu standing at the door, and was very surprised. Didn't Master Jiraiya say that Qin Yu went to Miaomu Mountain to practice? Why did you come back suddenly? Is it because the practice is over? Impossible, didn't Mrs. Jiraiya say that it will take at least 1 month? Hearing Ino's exclamation, everyone turned their heads. Looking at Qin Yu standing at the door, everyone's expressions were different. Only Shi Raihong motioned to Qin Yu with a look in his eyes. Look, I can do it. I have gathered all your little lovers, now I see what you want to do. Seeing Shi Raihong's slightly optimistic expression, Qin Yu didn't panic, his eyes motioned to respond. Let's take a look, the young master will deal with all kinds of dissatisfaction. It's great, I finally feel at home when I get home. The whole family needs to be neat and tidy. Qin Yu walked in with a smile, and expressed feelings. Everyone blushed upon hearing this. After that, they each looked at Qin Yu a little bit maliciously. What did you mean by what you said? Qin Yu didn't care, he just sat down at the dinner table next to him. Reaching out, he secretly picked up the food on the plate and took a bite. Good to eat. Seeing this, everyone just ignored him. Continued to cook together talking and laughing. But they all coincided with each other, looking at Qin Yu's figure from time to time. Qin Yu felt the so-called family-like atmosphere, so he could enjoy it for himself. Finally, everyone had a family dinner with Qin Yu. After that, it's time for multiplayer flying chess, everyone knows it, so I won't talk about it. On the second day, Qin Yu was refreshed and made breakfast for everyone alone. After that, he continued to go out and swing. The beautiful name is exercise, but in fact it is just going out to continue getting in touch with flowers and grass. As the saying goes, home flowers don't have the fragrance of wild flowers, and Qin Yu knows how. Ahem, it's far away. As Qin Yu walked, he actually came to the shop where his cheap father-in-law handed him. Seeing that it was Qin Yu coming, he was also very happy to play. Qin Yu is here, what do you want to eat today? I'll get it for you. Qin Yu also smiled when he saw the joy of hand-hitting. Father-in-law, let's have a bowl of ramen. After hearing the words father-in-law, he was taken aback for a moment, and then he also understood something. He happily patted Qin Yu on the shoulder, and said, good. Good, good, here comes. Then left to make noodles. After a while, a bowl of Yiel's signature ramen came to Qin Yu. Thank you father-in-law. It's all a family, what do you say? You eat first, not enough. He left after speaking with his hands, leaving Qin Yu alone to start eating noodles. At this moment, 2 figures, one tall and one short, walked into the handmade noodle shop. The 2 figures were dressed in black robes with a few orange clouds embroidered on the robes. Qin Yu knew it at a glance. It was clear that he knew people. Although the 2 of them half hidden their faces, Qin Yu could still see clearly who the 2 were coming. One with a shark face is a dried persimmon ghost shark. The other one with a paralyzed face was Uchiha Itachi. Qin Yu ignored the 2 of them, eating noodles for himself, quietly listening to what they 2 wanted to do. After the 2 sat down in the store, they ordered 2 bowls of special noodles and started talking. Read more at hotmtlnovel.zi. Speaking of Itachi, you came to Konoha this time, isn't it to see your brother? Advertisement. I want to see how he is now. Oh, Itachi, who doesn't care about anything, is really rare to care about his younger brother so much. Guiyu couldn't help but move a little bit. Itachi did not answer, and was silent. Yes, don't speak. Obviously this is not the first time this has happened, and the dried persimmon ghosts have also become accustomed to it. 2 faces. He put the ramen noodles on the table of the 2 of them, and left. Try it and see this Konoha's specialty ramen. The dried persimmon ghost shark took the lead to speak, and Uchiha Itachi also ate afterwards. After eating, Go to see your brother, and then go to Wonen village as soon as possible, don't let Sanwei slip away. The dried persimmon ghost shark was eating the noodles and whispered vaguely. Okay. Uchiha Itachi nodded. At this moment, Sasuke's figure suddenly appeared at the entrance of the store, and then walked in. Seeing Qin Yu's figure, he was taken aback for a moment, and then he thought he hadn't seen it. When he came directly to an empty table, he ordered a bowl of noodles and waited quietly. Where do you not meet in life, it's all fate. Qin Yu's mouth twitched when he was eating noodles, and he couldn't help feeling that this was fate. Itachi, look, isn't that your brother? It's almost the same as you. Guiyu found him when Sasuke came in. Looking at Sasuke's face, Guiyu couldn't help being amused. It turned out to be two brothers, both with facial paralysis. Because he is my brother. Uchiha Itachi didn't seem to hear the words of the ghost shark, so he just followed it up. Amount. The ghost stared in embarrassment for a moment, and then smiled secretly. Itachi looked at Sasuke quietly, his eyes blooming quietly. What are you? When Guiyu watched Itachi suddenly open the writing wheel, he was shocked, and he didn't know why. Later, he discovered that Sasuke had been hit by Itachi's illusion. Gradually, Sasuke's face began to show painful distortion. Knowing the end, I went crazy on the spot. Itachi, you are. Ghost Shark opened his mouth, not knowing what to say. Is this how your brothers meet? Really stab excited. Seeing Sasuke who was going crazy, the shark face of Ghost Shark couldn't help but twitch. Secretly gave a thumb to Itachi. You bull. After Sasuke left like crazy, Itachi also relieved the writing wheel. It's time for you to start, too. Isn't this finished yet? Itachi ignored the yelling of the ghost shark and left directly. The ghost ate 2 mouthfuls vaguely without tears, put down the money and left hurriedly. Father-in-law, I have finished eating, and I have to leave beforehand. It is good. Qin Yu left without any money. As for the reason, it's all a family, what money to talk about, and it hurts feelings when it comes to money, I don't know wow. The actual thoughts in my mind, the white prostitution is really fragrant. After Qin Yu left, he did not go to the Shaoji duo who had left, but continued to stroll around on his own. When he walked to a no-man's land in Konoha, 2 figures, one tall and one short, suddenly appeared in front of Qin Yu. These 2 people are just now Uchiha Itachi and Kaki. Long time no see, Qin Yu. Itachi's voice was a bit cold, and he greeted Qin Yu without any human touch. Chapter 51. Attribute Changes. Advertisement. Itachi. Qin Yu smiled. It looks like you are doing well. After all, I am delicious and spicy every day, so life is so happy. Qin Yu touched his head in a humble manner. Look, you have worked hard. It's very tiring to eat and sleep with salted fish by your side every day. Yeah, Itachi nodded. In fact, if 2 people say they are very familiar, neither will they say they are unfamiliar. I don't know how to leave Qin Yu on the night of the blood slaughter. To be familiar, neither of them had much to say. The 2 of them now can only be said to be simple condolences and communication between people of the same race. The meeting this time was just that Itachi wanted to see how Qin Yu had been, nothing more. Listening to the conversation between the 2, 3 black lines appeared on Guiyu's head. You are Qin Yu. In order to prevent Itachi from talking like this anymore, Guiyu stepped forward on his own and interrupted the conversation between the 2. It's me. Qin Yu continued to look at Itachi, but didn't look at the ghost shark. Speaking of pretending to be forced, Qin Yu hadn't been afraid of anyone. If you want to talk about mischievous people, look at the Konoha master group, it's not the one who is still being bullied by the little master. So, in this respect, Xiaoyi has not been afraid of anyone. The little devil who doesn't have the same hair, dare to be arrogant, I think you are looking for death. The ghost sneered, anger already in his heart. Qin Yu was not afraid at all, and just stunned back. You ugly, shark face, dried salted fish, what are you calling for? Believe it or not, I will make you a serious dried salted fish. Quote. You. B asterisk 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 D. Smelly kid, you're looking for death. The ghost shark was raised and lowered by Qin Yu's chest, but he couldn't find anything to refute. The angry ghost shark pulled up the shark muscle wrapped in cloth behind him, and pointed at Qin Yu. Smelly boy, I will let you know who is the dried salted fish and who will become the dried salted fish. Qin Yu pulled out his ears, looked at Itachi with slanted eyes, and said, aren't you tired with this kind of company? Quote. Itachi did not answer. Although he is tired, the shark muscle in his hand is pretty good, it looks pretty compelling, I want it. As soon as these words came out, the corners of the mouths of the ghost shark and Itachi twitched obviously. Mad, I've seen someone who pretends to be so forceful, I haven't seen one who can pretend to be so. No matter how hard others pretend, they are just clamoring for death. It's okay for you. Before hitting it, you clamored for a weapon. If you pretend to be a force, you can get full marks directly. Damn it, I can't bear it anymore. The ghost shark couldn't help it anymore, and angrily inserted the shark muscle in his hand into the ground, and his hands began to form fast seals. Qin Yu watched quietly without interrupting the ghost shark. Give me life. Water done the technique of water shark bombs. Beside the ghost shark, the river churned. A water bomb sprang out of the river suddenly and rushed straight towards Qin Yu. This kid is the one who defeated Dashimaru. It's ridiculous. I don't think you need to come and see Itachi. Yu turned his head and looked at Itachi, as if this water bomb could solve Qin Yu, very confident. Qin Yu didn't care about the ghost shark's water mackerel bomb. When the water mackerel bomb was about to hit Qin Yu, he slowly opened his mouth and spit at the water mackerel bomb. Art fire escape ho fireball. From Qin Yu's mouth, a huge fireball was suddenly ejected. Seeing that Qin Yu didn't need to connect the seal, he performed the fire escape ninjutsu, and Itachi's eyes were dazzling. How can this little guy become so strong now? Read more at hotmtlnovel.zi. Itachi squinted his eyes, secretly shocked in his heart. Advertisement. As for the ghost shark, I just talked and didn't see Qin Yu's Muji ninjutsu release. When he looked back, he only saw a huge fireball heading towards his water mackerel. The ghosts have shadow level strength, and even more shadow level combat awareness. Seeing Qin Yu's powerful fireball, he shook his head even more. Looking at Qin Yu with a sneer and sarcasm, he said, "Water overcomes fire. I don't understand such obvious truths, and I dare to pretend to be so arrogant in front of me." Qin Yu didn't respond to this, but looked at the water mackerel bombs and fireballs that were about to collide with fun. Boom. With a loud noise, the fireball and water mackerel collided together. However, it was not as the ghost shark thought that the fireball was destroyed by the water shark bomb. On the contrary, it was the ghost shark's water mackerel bomb that was instantly evaporated by Qin Yu's arrogant fireball. Even after the how fireball evaporates the water shark shells, there is still a surplus of prestige flying towards the ghost shark. Nani. The ghost shark and Itachi were shocked. In a hurry, the ghost shark pulled up the shark muscle and slashed it out. The fireball was split into an empty path by the ghost shark, and the flames whizzed by on both sides of his body. Although the fireball was not completely relieved, the flames roaring past still made the ghost shark's body hot and painful. This shows how powerful Qin Yu's fireball is. The flame disappeared in the blink of an eye, and the shark muscles in the ghost shark's hand suddenly softened. The end of the handle poked the ghost shark's arm more humanely. Ahem. I'm sorry, Yu said embarrassingly. At the same time, the eyes that looked at Qin Yu did not show the same disdain and contempt as before. It is full of solemnity. For Hokage, the ghost shark is very familiar. You know, his partner Uchiha Itachi is a fire escape master. For the same level of ninjutsu, it is the ultimate reason that the attributes are mutually restrained. And it's still at the shadow level, so it should be even more so. However, it was broken by Qin Yu today, breaking the situation of restraining each other's attributes. This situation is a bit slapped. What is it? Dried salted fish. Has it been dried just now? Qin Yu looked at the ghost shark playfully and said with a grin, "The attributes are mutually restrained, that is for you." For this genius, this theory has never worked. There is a reason why Qin Yu is so confident. That's because he got a kind of ability from the system. That is the attribute mutation. After obtaining this ability, you can ignore the problem of attribute mutual restraint between ninjutsu. Since I can ignore it, and I'm afraid of being a Harry, then just pretend to be forced by surprise, isn't it fragrant? It was with this kind of heart that Qin Yu just gave a fire escape. Qin Yu's pretending declaration, although Yu wanted to refute it, but the facts were in front of him, and he didn't know what to say. Can only look at Qin Yu helplessly, angrily. As for Itachi, his expression hasn't changed, it's still the same as his previous facial paralysis. But deep in his eyes, there was a bit of appreciation. It's really arrogant, kid. In that case, the warm-up is over, I will give you a real one. Although the first clash was lost, the ghost still remained stiff. The mouth is hard, but Yu's heart is very dignified, without a trace of contempt. Of course, it's just solemn. After all, he is a shadow-level powerhouse, and he still has the confidence to be a shadow-level powerhouse. Chapter 52. Qin Yu vs Dried Persimmon Ghost Shark. Advertisement. The ghost shark picked up the shark muscle and cut it towards Qin Yu. Kang. Qin Yu took out the Thunder God's sword from the system space, and easily held the ghost shark's muscles. Seeing Qin Yu despising himself so much, Yu felt angrily in his heart, and his empty left hand suddenly grasped the hilt of the knife, instantly increasing his strength. However, Qin Yu was indifferent to this. Moreover, the face is not red and the heart beats, and he looks easy and relaxed. Nani. Impossible. Seeing that the shark muscle sword in his hand was so easily held by Qin Yu under the force of his own hands, the ghost shark was shocked. It was really hard for him to imagine that Qin Yu's strength would be so powerful. Is this still a kid? This is the strength you are proud of. Just as embarrassed to come out and pretend to be force. Qin Yu said mockingly. Dare to look down upon me like this. Yu was furious immediately. No longer comparing the strength with Qin Yu, he swung a big knife and slew towards Qin Yu. However, under the systematic training, Qin Yu's swordsmanship is extraordinary. As the so-called system produced, it must be a fine product. After the training of systematic swordsmanship, Qin Yu's swordsmanship is far higher than that of ghost sharks. No matter how he played with his muscles, he couldn't do any harm to Qin Yu. Gradually, Qin Yu began to exert his strength, and in a blink of an eye, the ghost shark was suppressed by Qin Yu's swordsmanship and retreated steadily. Itachi looked at the ghost shark, shook his head helplessly, and wanted to step forward. Itachi, I'll do it myself, I still don't believe it, this kid can still go against the sky. Yu stopped the kindness of going forward to help. At this moment, the Thunder God's sword in Qin Yu's hand had an oblique stab at a tricky angle. Stabbed. The Thunder God's sword cut a hole in the clothes on the ghost shark's body. FK. Ghost Shark exclaimed, hurriedly suppressed his heart, and tried his best to resist Qin Yu's attack. The ghost shark now regrets very much, and regrets why he has to fight Qin Yu's swordsmanship. This is all right, here is suppressed to death. A asterisk hole, A asterisk hole, A asterisk hole, wait for this uncle, I will give you a taste of the big shark bomb whenever I have a chance to see uncle. The ghost shark was very angry, and under the pressure of Qin Yu's swordsmanship, he couldn't find the opportunity to perform ninjutsu at all. It was very difficult to resist Qin Yu's swordsmanship, and there was no way to take advantage of the opportunity to perform ninjutsu. Qin Yu seemed to see the suffocation and anger of the ghost, and grinned and said, do you really want to use ninjutsu? Is it very aggrieved and unhappy? Guiyu was furious. Qin Yu smiled cheaply, and said, But what? Guiyu asked with gritted teeth. But you can't use ninjutsu, but that doesn't mean I can't either. Qin Yu's smile suddenly became very bright. Afterwards, in the shocked gaze of the ghost shark and Itachi, Qin Yu continued to attack with the sword in his right hand, and his left hand also formed a handprint. Stabbed. A thunderous sound suddenly sounded, and the power of blue thunder and lightning gathered in Qin Yu's hands. FK slot. Damn it. Seeing the huge destructive power of Qin Yu's lay-done ninjutsu, ghosts and souls were all gone for a while. Is this kid on a horse still a human? You can make such a violent thing with one hand while fighting with me. At this moment, the ghost shark began to mess up. His heart began to collapse. Come on, try my little master, my Chidori sharp gun. Qin Yu pointed his left hand in the direction of the ghost shark, and the Chidori sharp spear immediately stretched out to shoot at the ghost shark. The ghost shark backed away in a panic in his eyes. Read more at hotmtlnovel.zi. The two of them retreated to the lake next to them one after another. Advertisement. Stabbed. With a soft sound, the Chidori sharp spear stabbed the ghost shark's body, and the ghost shark instantly turned into a pool of water. Water substitute. So boring. Qin Yu curled his lips. A few meters away, the ghost shark appeared. It's just that his breath is disordered, and his figure is also very embarrassed. Obviously, although he escaped Qin Yu's blow, it was not easy. Smelly boy. Next, this uncle will let you know what is fear of death. While talking, his hands quickly knotted the seal, and then slammed on the ground. Water done thousand eater. The calm lake surface began to boil, and countless sharks sprang out of the water and attacked Qin Yu suddenly. Shark face, did you forget who I am? Qin Yu smiled. What do you mean? Guiyu asked for a moment. I'm Uchiha Qin Yu. As he spoke, Qin Yu's hands began to seal quickly, and while the ghost shark looked at Qin Yu's seal technique, his pupils suddenly changed. Water done thousand eater. The originally boiling lake suddenly became surging. Countless huge groups of sharks are actively moving in the lake, not only destroying the sharks of the ghost shark, but also attacking the ghost shark at the same time. Nani. The ghost shark was terrified. Qin Yu unexpectedly displayed his own ninjutsu, and the crisis was more powerful than his own. Facing a more powerful shark group, the ghost shark kept evasive and kept heading back. Qin Yu looked at the flustered ghost shark attacked by the sharks, and the corners of his mouth rose slightly. Qin Yu threw the Thunder God's sword at the ghost shark, and the Thunder God's sword flew through the air. Seeing Qin Yu's flying sword attack, the ghost shark grasped the shark muscle with a flat cut. Qin Yu suddenly appeared beside the Thunder God's sword at the moment when the Thunder God's sword was hit by the ghost shark. Nani. Ghost shark was shocked. What's the situation? Stabbed. Qin Yu held the sword of the Thunder God. Lei Dun Chakra injected the sword of the Thunder God, and it was a slanting hurtle toward the ghost shark. Puff. The ghost shark's right arm holding the shark muscle, separated from the ghost shark's body, and flew into the air. Oh. There was intense pain from the wound on the shoulder, and the ghost cried out in pain. The shark's face, which was already ugly, was twisted together and became even more ugly. Although the arm was broken, the eyes of the ghost shark were still staring at the shark muscle in the air. For him, if the arm is gone, it will be gone, but if the shark muscle knife is gone, it will be fatal. Ghost shark, withdraw quickly. Itachi suddenly appeared in front of the ghost shark, intending to stop Qin Yu. Qin Yu looked at Itachi, suddenly smiled and said, want to try it for you. Qin Yu, you have become stronger these years. Then I need you to say, I must be strong and boundless, you don't know if you look at your dried salted fish partner. Qin Yu's words made Weasel's mouth twitch. The ghost shark with a broken arm behind him was even more furious, but he was helpless. Qin Yu bent over and sealed the shark's muscle into the scroll that he carried under Gui Sha's eyes. After that, he put it in his own ninja bag even more grandiosely. The ghost shark is behind him, looking at it can be said to be gritted teeth. I can't wait to rush directly to regain the shark muscle. But he didn't dare, because he felt death in Qin Yu's hands. For his own life, Guiyu chose to ignore it, and at the same time pinned his hopes on Itachi. Chapter 53, Uchiha Chinha vs Uchiha Itachi. Advertisement. Qin Yu, do you believe it? I will get rid of you in an instant. Itachi said coldly. Before the words fell, Itachi's eyes flashed, and the whole person began to exude a magical attraction. Seeing what Itachi looked like, Qin Yu knew what he wanted to do. I'll see how you solve me in an instant. Qin Yu was not afraid at all, staring straight at Itachi's eyes. Haha, It's still a kid, and the fighting consciousness is obviously not enough. Itachi smiled inwardly, apparently mocking Qin Yu's lack of experience. It's all about teaching you a lesson, and endure hardships. Itachi's eyes opened instantly, and as Chakra's eyes converged, the three Guyu jade began to spin. Immediately afterwards, the three Guyu quickly connected, forming the shape of a triangular windmill. Monthly reading. Itachi's eyes suddenly emitted a powerful light. The moment the light radiated, Qin Yu felt a powerful mental force invading his boy. This is the ability of Itachi's kaleidoscope to write round eyes. Itachi's monthly reading was extremely powerful, and Qin Yu's mental power was greatly impacted. With a faint dizziness, the world in front of Qin Yu's eyes became blood red. In a blink of an eye, Itachi's monthly reading space was formed. The world in front of Qin Yu was scarlet, and a blood-red moon hung high. Whoosh! Itachi's figure suddenly appeared in front of Qin Yu. With a random wave of his right hand, a wooden stake fell from the sky. Immediately afterwards, another rope appeared out of thin air, tying Qin Yu firmly onto the wooden stake. A long sword hovered beside Itachi, pointing towards Qin Yu. Welcome to the world of monthly reading that I created. In this world, time, space, quality and everything will be controlled by me. In the next time, I will use this sword to entertain you well. Although it is an illusion space, the pain is real. Just enjoy it. As Itachi's voice fell, the floating long sword pierced towards Qin Yu. Qin Yu grinned and said, Itachi, mere illusion, you want to trap me too? Give it to me. Itachi smiled and shook his head and said, don't waste your effort. With your pupil power, you can still be honest. Before he finished speaking, Itachi was stunned. Because he suddenly discovered that the writing wheel eyes in Qin Yu's eyes had started to rotate, quickly forming a four-cornered windmill shape. Nani. Itachi's pupils shrank suddenly. His heart shape is different from the maturity of ordinary people, and he has never been so gloomy in so many years. In fact, Qin Yu's impact on him was too great. Don't think you have a kaleidoscope, tell you, I have it too. Qin Yu said jokingly. You. Itachi looked at Qin Yu in disbelief. Even if you opened the kaleidoscope writing wheel, you would never want to break my monthly reading world. Itachi is still very confident in his monthly reading world. Qin Yu hooked the corner of his mouth and said, really? Are you still so self-conscious now? In the shocked gaze of Itachi again, the kaleidoscope writing wheel in Qin Yu's eyes revolved again. The four-cornered windmill in Qin Yu's eyes disappeared, and it was indeed a six-pointed star instead. Eternal kaleidoscope. Itachi couldn't calm down anymore, and said in shock. Break it for me. As Qin Yu's voice fell, the eternal kaleidoscope in his eyes shone brightly. Click. The sound of shattering sounded, and Itachi's heart was agitated, and a strong might came. Read more at hotmtlnovel.zi. In the next moment, the moon reading world created by Itachi was directly and forcibly shattered by Qin Yu. Advertisement. The ordinary glass in the entire Scarlet World shattered, and the pieces dissipated. No. In the air, an unbelievable voice came from Itachi. Monthly reading. Rebound. Qin Yu drank softly in his heart, and the eternal kaleidoscope of his eyes suddenly burst into light. Because of the shock just now, Itachi stared at Qin Yu's eyes tightly. To be precise, staring at the eternal kaleidoscope in his eyes. Unprepared, he sturdily eaten Qin Yu's monthly reading rebound. The moon reading world reappeared, but now it is the change of priority. Itachi was tied to a wooden stake, while Qin Yu stood in front of Itachi. Itachi finally panicked now, and was no longer as calm as before. In the past, he was able to change without surprise. On the one hand, it was a character problem, and on the other hand, it was because of his strength. But it was different now. He found that Qin Yu's strength was too strong. Refreshing Qin Yu's cognition time and time again. Every time you think that you will eat Qin Yu, he can always surprise you again. Monthly reading. Solution. Solution. Itachi frantically urged the kaleidoscope to write round eyes, trying to unlock the world of moon reading. However, it is useless. Qin Yu looked at Ferret with a playful expression. At this time, a long sword was suspended beside Qin Yu, pointing at the ferret tied to the stake. Welcome to the world of monthly reading. In this world, time, space, quality and everything will be controlled by me. In the next time, I will use this sword to entertain you well. Although it is an illusion space, the pain is real. Just enjoy it. Qin Yu returned everything verbatim to him according to what Itachi said just now. Hearing this, Itachi smiled bitterly. Unexpectedly, I will have such a day. But Itachi's psychological quality was far superior to ordinary people, and he adjusted in an instant. Facing Qin Yu indifferently, his face was fearless. His body is burdened with a mission, and his hands are stained with the blood of many close relatives, and his heart has long been hardened. Facing the torture of the moon reading world, in Itachi's view, it was just a little external pain, it was not a big deal. Qin Yu waved his right hand, and the long sword began to poke at Itachi. This is of no use to me. No matter how long, Itachi said lightly. Are you sure? Qin Yu said, but the floating sword had already turned its direction. The point of the long sword pointed diagonally and poked towards Itachi's fifth limb. What? For Qin Yu's unique sword, Itachi was also shocked and screamed. After all, for male friends, there is no place more important than this place. Seeing his own fifth limb being cut, the mental feeling can be imagined. I can stand it. Itachi gritted his teeth and said. Oh, so boring. Forget it. Forget it, don't play. As soon as Qin Yu snapped his fingers, Moonredding World was unlocked. Woo. As soon as he returned to the real world, Itachi began to gasp and his face was very ugly. Itachi, what's the matter with you? When Guiyu saw that Itachi's condition was wrong, he immediately asked. The two have teamed up for so long, and Guiyu has never seen Itachi have such a day. Suddenly, the ghost shark was even more frightened to Qin Yu. Chapter 54, Qin Yu releases water. Advertisement. Itachi retreated in a burst, and came to Guiyu's side. Itachi squinted his eyes and looked at Qin Yu in front of him, and said solemnly, I think it's time for us to retreat too. But, the ghost shark gritted his teeth, his face full of unwillingness. The movement just now definitely caught the attention of Konoha ninja. If you don't retreat, it will be really troublesome then. Although Itachi was deflated by Qin Yu's hands, he still judged the situation wisely. But the shark muscle, although knowing what Itachi said was reasonable, the ghost shark was still reluctant to leave the shark muscle behind. Itachi, you just as I beg you, open the kaleidoscope and help me get the shark muscle back. The shark muscle is very unwilling to pray to Itachi. Obviously, he didn't know that Itachi had already opened the kaleidoscope just now. Do you think I haven't driven it? Itachi said angrily. Did it? Guiyu asked blankly. When? You didn't see that I was almost collapsed when I came back. Itachi gave a ghostly glance. I started the kaleidoscope just now, and I performed monthly reading on him, but he bounced back. Itachi said weakly. Nani? Guiyu was completely stunned. It was at this moment that Guiyu also understood why the Itachi just now wasn't quite right. It turned out that the problem was here. It turned out that Itachi had already opened the kaleidoscope and released the monthly reading, but it was bounced back. Yudu is powerful, and the ghost shark as a partner is quite clear. You know, when practicing against Itachi, the ghost shark has often been in the monthly reading. Moreover, he usually recruits monthly readings, but he often unknowingly recruits them. Now hearing Itachi said that his illusion was rebounded by the little ghost Qin Yu, the ghost was shocked except for shock. After all, the illusion of Yudu is not an ordinary little illusion, but Itachi's illusion. This kid is a bit too strong too much. Guiyu didn't want to believe this fact, but the fact was in front of him, and he had to believe it. Maid. Guiyu cursed angrily, and said, withdraw. Withdraw. The ghost shark pulled Itachi and planned to leave, but Qin Yu suddenly came behind them. Seeing Qin Yu's sudden appearance, both the ghost shark and the ferret suddenly became tensed. The corner of Qin Yu's mouth hooked, and the thunder god's sword in his right hand was already flooded with the power of this huge thunder and lightning. It's rare to see old friends, don't you give me a welcome gift, isn't it a bit too much? Seeing Qin Yu approaching gradually, the ghost shark had already begun to play drums, pulling it straight back slowly. Itachi looked at the ghost shark, and said helplessly, a good person, so arrogant before, now it's like this. Itachi, withdraw quickly. Guiyu was nervous to death. Withdraw. How to withdraw now? The ghost was taken aback for a moment, and then he also understood. Yes, how to withdraw now. As soon as you withdraw, Qin Yu might kill you and kill you in an instant. But if you don't withdraw, if you face Qin Yu Gong, he can also kill you. This is an unsolvable game, it seems to be dead anyway. For the first time, Guiyu feels that choosing is really a difficult and painful thing. Itachi, then look at. The ghost shark didn't pay attention anymore. As a reckless man, he knew how to kill people best. How did you think that there would be such a day now, and now ask him how to retreat, he doesn't know. Can you still perform ninjutsu? Itachi thought for a while and asked. Although it's a little harder, it's okay. Guiyu nodded. Read more at hotmtl novel.zi. Well, I'll hold him back for a while and give you a chance to practice ninjutsu, and if you can escape after a while, it depends on how powerful your ninjutsu is. Advertisement. After speaking, Itachi left Guiyu's side and headed towards Qin Yu. Guiyu was stupid. What does Itachi mean? Dare you to rely on your own life and death now? Before he could think about it, the ghost shark had already started the one-handed seal. As for Itachi, he started to fight Qin Yu again with swordsmanship, but the obvious result was that he was suppressed by Qin Yu. Itachi, I don't know if you have any other tricks you can use besides monthly reading. Qin Yu said jokingly. While he was doing his hand, he talked in a homely manner, although the words were not nutritious, but there were words in the words. What do you mean? Itachi asked coldly with excuses. Since you have opened the kaleidoscope, you should be able to do that too. Qin Yu's words exploded in Itachi's mind like thunder. At that step, is he talking about Suzuo? How did he know? Is he already able to use Susanna? By the way, his eyes are already an eternal kaleidoscope, and it should be no problem to use Susanna. Once he figured it out, Itachi calmed down again. You knew already. As a Uchiha, I still don't know, after all, I'm a genius. Qin Yu said narcissistically. It seems that you pestered me deliberately. Itachi whispered, without letting Guiyu hear it. If you don't pester you, how can I let you take the opportunity to run away? Am I a genius? Qin Yu also said softly. Itachi's pupils shrank and stared at Qin Yu tightly. As if to say, why? I almost became the man of the 5th generation of Naruto, do you think there is anything I don't know? Qin Yu began to pretend to be forceful, but he was quite confident in pretending to be forceful, which made people have to believe. Nani? Itachi exclaimed. This news is really maddening, even maddening than everything just now. Uchiha's people almost became Hokage. How did Qin Yu do this? You know, as his ancestor Uchiha Madara, he couldn't be Konoha's Hokage. In the years that followed, the Uchiha group never got involved in the position of Naruto. Why did he get to you? He almost became Hokage. What's all this? 3 generations wanted me to be Hokage, but I refused. Qin Yu seemed to see Itachi's surprise and said again. Itachi was suddenly messed up. The same thought as the 3 generations of Naruto Sarutobi and Risen appeared in Itachi's heart. What happened to this world? Did the world really change? Shui dun big shark bullet. A huge shark bullet leapt from the surface of the lake and slammed into Qin Yu's bite. Itachi, withdraw. After the ghost shark released ninjutsu, he ran away in the first place. As for the ferret, Qin Yu deliberately put it under the water and also slipped away. The ghost shark's big shark bullet did not hit Qin Yu, but fell into the water again. Then it exploded in the water, causing splashes in the sky. After the ghost shark and the ferret left in embarrassment, Konoha's people were long overdue. As for Qin Yu, he had already left through Fei Lei Shen. He didn't want to be surrounded by Konoha's people, asking this and that. I want to know, investigate by myself. Chapter 55. Goodbye Maru. Advertisement. Short Book Street, Southwest Corner. As Konoha's rebellious Oznaru, with his 1,000-year-old younger brother Yakushi Pocket, he is discussing something with Tsunade in front of him. After Orochimaru Yin made his request with a smile, Tsunade hesitated, obviously a little tangled. As for the mute beside Tsunade, he was holding a piglet, guarding against the 2 of Orochimaru, and at the same time comforting Tsunade. After all, the 2 people in front of them don't look like good people no matter how they look. Moreover, the content of the transaction that the 2 said was not a serious transaction. Orochimaru looked at Tsunade's tangled expression, not anxious, just like his name Lengjun, waiting coldly with his eyes squinted on the side. At this time, for some reason, Dashiwan suddenly had a bad premonition in her heart, as if something was going to happen. How is this going? The feeling of restlessness became stronger and stronger, and the heart of Dashimaru could not help but feel a little palpitating. As one's own status, this uneasy feeling has not been in stock for a long time. Why does this feeling suddenly appear now? Is it because Tsunade didn't want to agree to the deal he proposed? Thinking of this, Orochimaru's originally narrowed eyes couldn't help exuding a gloomy cold. As time passed, this feeling of anxiety became stronger and stronger. Until a person arrives, a person unexpectedly from Dashimaru arrives. Whoosh! Qin Yu's figure suddenly appeared, just by Tsunade and Silent's side. In the face of this sudden appearance, Tsunade and Silent became alert. The young man in front of him appeared so suddenly that Tsunade, who was a shadow rank, was too late to react. He was obviously not a weak one. Therefore, all precautions are necessary before it is clear whether it is an enemy or a friend. FK, Qin Yu. Seeing Qin Yu's figure, Dashiwan and Yao Shido exclaimed at the same time. The eyes of the 2 of them were full of horror, and their bodies were upright. The 2 of them made the same action the first time they saw Qin Yu, that is, they retreated instantly. After that, it was withdrawn and then withdrawn, withdrawn and withdrawn, after withdrawing. Seeing the boy in front of them, it made Orochimaru and Yakushido so panicked or even scared. Tsunade and Silent couldn't help looking at each other, and they saw the shock in each other's eyes. The elites accompany Tsunade, and the 2 have been engaged in a tense and exciting money gambling outside the village. Faced with many things in the shinobi world, they hadn't asked for a long time. The name Qin Yu is very strange to them. However, it is obviously not a simple character to make Orochimaru, one of the 3 ninjas, so scared. But judging from his age, he is very young, clearly a young man. The more I think about it, the more I feel that something is wrong. The more I think about it, the more I feel that there is a problem. Tsunade and Cheng began to look at Qin Yu beside them, very curious in their hearts. Oh, isn't this Dashiwan? See you again. Qin Yu shook his brows and smiled. Although the words are full of cordiality, they also imply ridicule. You, don't you think it's weird when you see that I'm still alive? Dashiwan was surprised and very puzzled. Logically speaking, I am dead. Read more at hotmtlnovel.zi. Shouldn't he be surprised to see me appear in front of him again? Advertisement. Hehe, you are one of the 3 forbearances, and also the most weird one. If you really die so easily, then I will find it strange. Qin Yu said with a smile. In fact, I was secretly complaining. Nima, you are an immortal insect, unless the ninja world is destroyed, otherwise you will not die. Qin Yu didn't have the slightest surprise for Dashiwan's resurrection and rebirth. After all, he had read the original work, but he knew very well how Orochimaru was resurrected. Although this method is relatively complicated, with the cooperation of the pharmacist's pocket, it is still very simple. That is to say, the late pharmacist learned the immortal arts and reincarnating from the filthy soil by himself, so he no longer needed the big snake pill before he chose to do it alone. However, the current direction of the medicine is still very hot and weak, so now he has only the way to resurrect the Dashiwan. As for the curse seals needed to resurrect the Osha pill, it can be said to be a lot. Dashimaru usually raises many orphans for experimentation, and they often place curse marks under the orphans. Although it cannot be said that the curse is all over the street, if you really want to find it, it is still very easy. Therefore, No matter from which aspect, Orochimaru wanted to be resurrected. So Qin Yu was not surprised to see Dashuin's resurrection. In the original work, Orochimaru was cut by Sarutobi with both arms sealed, and then he came to Tsunade for treatment. Although not like the original book this time, he still came, and he came to look for Tsunade. Qin Yu also had some guesses as to what Orochimaru's plan to look for in Tsunade, or what a deal was. Dashi Wan looked at Qin Yu, whose face was calm and indifferent, with a real surprise in her heart. This guy, not only his strength against the sky, but his mind is so meticulous and deep, he is really a very terrifying guy. Dashuan and Qin Yu looked at each other at a distance of more than 10 meters. Around the two of them, an air conditioning began to spread silently. Silent, the weakest in skill, suddenly felt the air around his body, unexpectedly descending. For a time, I was very nervous. As for the atmosphere on the court, it was also extremely tense. Seeing Tsunade, who suddenly became cold, was suddenly dumbfounded. What's the situation? Just now, I was talking about cooperation and trading, but when this young man appeared, it was not right. Why did the situation suddenly become a bit tense? In order to ease the situation, Tsunade had to speak out. Wait, let me interrupt. Tsunade looked at Qin Yu and asked in a deep voice, speaking of a kid, who are you? Originally, Tsunade, one of the three ninjas, should logically be calm. But this time I really couldn't help the curiosity in my heart, so I couldn't help asking. Haha, Tsunade, it seems that you have really been away from Konoha for too long, even Konoha's current hero Uchiha Qin Yu has never heard of it. Orochimaru's voice was cold, but it was full of mockery. Dashi Wan squinted his erect snake pupils and stared at Qin Yu. It is estimated that the 3 generations of old men want to pass on the position of Hokage to you. Qin Yu laughed, and said mockingly, you also know this, then it's your blessing. As soon as the voice fell, Orochimaru's face suddenly turned black. Obviously, what Qin Yu said just now was a little bit heartbreaking.